welcome you all to the Crypto Kingdom. This is London. Let's get through the technicals today. We're going to start off with Bitcoin. You guys who are returning, just settle on in. It's going to be a nice long stream, and get us time to cut to the chase. We'll do some formalities. Welcome back to the Crypto Kingdom. My name is London. We'll do a sound check for everybody, make sure that you can hear. And this looks best on the big screen, guys. If you have a big screen TV, etc., we would definitely recommend you put this on a big screen so that we can go over the technicals. We have some interesting pattern formations that no one else is looking at in terms of Bitcoin. So let's take a look at that and some of your other coins today. I'm a former financial analyst. We look forward to welcoming all of you guys to the VIP level. That's the top, guys, the top level of membership of the channel. And we're just phenomenally excited to have all of you back here with us again. And as you stream into the room, guys, welcome back. I know it's a lot of action in the and I have open here the Doge traders, for instance, and we also have the VIP hot altcoins, the Doge trades, the general chat, guys. This is all VIP. This is the back rooms. We had some conference calls last night on a new coin, guys, a new coin that went 6x. I want to say 6x. We're trading that on Gate. On Gate, we're trading that, so that's very, very exciting that we're trading that on Gate. You guys, as you look at that, you guys have that in the description if you want to go ahead and join Gate. Right now, Gate Exchange has new coins, ICOs, initial coin offerings all the time, guys. So those 6Xs, I want to give a shout out to. I think Eric had a 50% trade on that. Just real quick, a flash trade. Nice job, Eric. Nice job. Also, I want to say Carlos got a good trade on that. I think also Lars picked up a nice trade. Andrew, nice to see you. Angel, also in the house, are two key leaders, guys. Those two guys who chime in real quickly, they're making the most money. I want you to see the chat right now. They are making the most money. And guys, why is that? Look at them, how quick they are. They're right into the chats, guys. They are on it. Andrew had a huge day today. Huge day. Congratulations, Andrew. Was very happy to know about your trades. Andrew traded some real hot and heavy stocks, guys. Very, very well done. Angel and Andrew's $900 level of support, or huge level of support. Angel, of course, as you guys see on the top right, just leading the charge, leading the support of this community, trying to help lead you guys to higher profits. Okay, that is a goal of both myself and Angel and Andrew, and particularly Angel and I have discussed. We want to bring opportunities to you. It's not financial advice, but bring opportunities to you that can create some life-changing wealth. That's what we want to do, and it has happened to more than one person in this group that they have that background, and that is just that's exciting. So we're excited that Angel and Andrew are setting the trend. They are literal trend setters, and they've had phenomenal results. So we appreciate so much, Angel, you being here today. We know that you're a busy guy and you have a lot of business to take care of amidst the Bitcoin, this Bitcoin challenge. It's a lot of fun right now. I want to start off with something very important. Okay, this is something very important. I'm going to start off with the weekly chart. Okay, I'm going to start off with the weekly chart. I want everyone to just hone in on this weekly chart, guys. Look at this weekly chart of Bitcoin. No one is discussing this right now, and I can't figure out why. Just take a look at the weekly chart. Take a look at this weekly chart in terms of, look at the fact, if we really zoom in on this, okay, you see this classical formation in terms of wave patterning, a lot of upside generative momentum here. Huge returns. We all experienced that, guys. We all went through that. Now the top formation, it was clear to us that we reached the top. Not everyone nailed it, guys. A lot of people here did. Some people have been involved in. Let's see. Are you having an audio issue at all? Is that any better? I can turn the audio up. You let me know if I need to turn the audio up. Let me go over to the audio and see if I need to turn that up even more. But I think I'm already up into that decimal level, so I can. Is that better? Copy if that's better. Let me know. Is that better? I'm about at max, so you may have some background noise. Let me know if that is indeed better. So we cover the audio issues. Audio better. Let me see that. If you can let me know that, Angel, I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, and we'll definitely work on that audio. I'll try and bring that a little bit closer, and just copy back if we are better on that. I've got the full audio here, and it sounds fine here, but we have some differentials in terms of system setups, etc. So if you're maxed out on volume and you're having an issue, you let me know, and I'd appreciate you letting me know that ASAP. In terms of audio, it may have gotten better. If I crank it up too much more, we're going to be literally blasting through some of the more sensitive, the more sensitive setup. So as we look at guys, as we look at the charts here, the top of Bitcoin was a big deal, guys. That was a big deal in terms of just the flattened out, guys. The trajectory completely flattened out. We didn't have much room to go. I will give credit to some people, though. It may have seemed like, and we haven't talked about this, it may have seemed like, to a lot of people that we were in the process of forming this what we trade a lot, guys, an ascending triangle. And you guys let me know on that audio if we're loud and clear. Again, I would appreciate that. Let me know if we're loud and clear on that audio. Andrew or Angel, can you do a check back on the audio? I'd appreciate that. As we look at this, it may have been, it may have been an issue here as to whether or not we were in at the top. And I haven't discussed this yet. It is something that was another clear indication that we were headed down. We were definitely heading down. And let me go ahead and check this audio, make sure that we are good. I hope you guys are good on the audio because there's some important information being covered right now. I want to cover this very matter-of-factly in terms of the pattern formations that indicate to us when we're on the top. I want to get to the point where we're able to indicate when we are on the bottom. Okay, so that's what I want to get through is, when we're on the top, when we're on the bottom. Everyone wants to call the top and the bottom. Now, in terms of this ascending triangle, I could give some credit, in terms of people recognizing that, yeah, maybe it's trying to form an ascending triangle here towards the top of the expression, the 64,863.10, correct? Yeah, the $64,863.10. That is the expressed all-time high. Now, this ascending line of essentially support, you'd have to go to a differential time frame to find that. But once we find that ascending line of support and this essentially a flat line of resistance, what happened, guys? We tried to express up above that. Typically, that is a very bearish pattern. I'm sorry, a very bullish pattern. But once we've reconfirmed out, that turns into an extremely bearish pattern. We focused on the other two that we have focused on are the rising wedges. Both of those extremely bearish. I'm normally saying bearish on this, but to give credit to the people who were excited about it, I need to go ahead and say that was very bullish. I'm not used to saying that in this context. I understand that, but yes, that was a bullish expression to the extent that we had a cognizable, and pardon for the misstep, I'm doing about 2-3 things at once. Are we good? Yes, you got it back. Good. Loud and clear. Copy that. Good. Copy that. We're going through some very interesting dynamics here because we want to be able to call the top and we want to be able to call the bottom, right? Yes, we want to call the top and we want to call the bottom, right? Let's look at the top and how people got a little bit duped maybe, okay? Let's talk about that. We'll put it in the context of the bottom, okay? We'll put it in the context of when's the right time to really leverage in and buy. Not financial advice, but we're going to go through the pattern formations. We want to go through the technicals that no one else is covering, okay? How you could have gotten tricked along the top here is this ascending triangle, okay? It is a bullish, I'm normally saying bearish on the top with the ascending wedges. You guys know that. So pardon that one more time. Now, this ascending line of support, right? And we have the flat line of resistance. That's indicative. Okay, it's going to be indicative. It's a little bit abrogated here in the middle. However, on the different time frames, I think you could justify that, and that would be something that would want to express itself up. We trade those all the time. You guys know that. We trade these every day for profit. So the fact that people would have been stuck in here, hey, I'm going to tell you that I could understand the notion. And as you guys who day traders are like, yeah, it could definitely happen, right? Even if we wanted to move back just a touch, we could have even moved this back into here, in which case, yeah, everyone's going to be saying, okay. Now, the only problem with this is once you push this back, look at what happens, guys. As soon as you start pushing this back in line with the actual formations here, you're running into what? You're running into, essentially, guys, a rising wedge, right? Okay, so that's the level of technical specificity that we have to have. I mean, guys, we have to have it, and I don't want to be overly expressive or too excited, etc. I don't want to hype anything up or down, but that's the level of technical specificity that we have to have. It's like, is it perfect or not? Is it exactly the formation or not? I tell you, guys, these lines are drawn out in terms of the pricing extraordinarily in a detailed manner. Okay, they're provided to us. The pricing is provided to us in an extraordinarily like detailed regard. These are, I mean, you cannot get more calculated, guys, in terms of the pricing as it's presented to us, guys. It's down to the price is $30,795 and is it 50 cents, guys? It's down to 50 cents on a $30,000 financial concern. Okay, so as we look at that, it's just today. First of all, let's go ahead and start off too. We are in a down market, guys. We're in a down market overall. S&P 500 is down about 1.59%. I'm just watching CNBC. You guys can see it in the background. It's a rough day in the market. So we have fallen off a bit in Bitcoin as well, and to the extent that it's correlative with the market, that would be consistent with last year, with 2020, where there was a big dip around March. You guys remember that? Okay, so as we're seeing a negative day now in the red now, about 3% down currently for Bitcoin, we're also experiencing the fact that the overall market is down. The Dow down about 2.09%, the down losing about 721 points. So we're watching that. We're looking for the correlatives while we investigate and kind of look into these dynamics. And just a reminder to everyone, please be extraordinarily precise in terms of your pattern formations here, because we do trade, we trade these ascending triangles quite a bit, okay? But you would have known that we had an ascending, okay? What's the key here? Well, we had an ascending line of resistance, okay, to start off with. That kind of gives you the tell-all that that we're into an ascending wedge, guys, because that flat line across the top would have been necessary for us to formulate. Yeah, and it gets into the, you really have to look at this. You really have to, determine, and this is why I don't like trading on patterns that are not perfected, guys. I don't like doing it, and you guys know that because the level of specificity counts when people are trading, and particularly when they're trading big dollars, when they're trading big institutional moves, etc. Guys, they are looking at I'm talking about the micro fine magnifying glass type look, guys. You know that. It's not a generalized pattern. It's not well, maybe we can make this. No, guys. These guys are paid big bucks to make big calls like this all the time. They've gone to school for it. They've trained for it. Literally the in-house training. Can you imagine the in-house training for just any brokerage firm, etc.? I don't say we want to go through it, right? But it has to be, when they're dealing with large institutional amounts of money, it's heavy. We have a lot of institutional professionals that are members of the VIP, etc. And that's what we look at. We look at the specificity. We're required. And you guys know, you watch your account down to the $50, down to the $10. You're entering limit orders down to the, on this specific one. I'm going to call it, for instance, you would call, I want to sell order in it, 35,000. I'm going to say 275 to make sure it executes, right? You're literally, you're down to that microfine level in terms of your orders, in terms of the specificity. So I just want to make sure when you guys are calling out patterns, whether it's on the weekly, whether or not it's on the daily, the minute, etc., down to the second, guys, make sure you are definitely lined out, because this could be something that people would generally look at and say, well, look at this, guys, and I understand people getting not confused, but I don't want to say misled at all, but it's understandable how someone would call this, well, that looks like an ascending triangle. So I give some credit to the people who were pushing up Bitcoin at the top. It's something I rarely do, but I do want to qualify up with that, because you have a bullish appearing, something that appears to be bullish. However, when we go in with the magnifying glass, guys, when we go in with the detail, and we'll apply this to lower points here in a minute, hit that like button if you guys just showed up. It'll help me gauge how many people are coming in, what type of information I need to handle. We're having a down day on the markets. The Dow, again, down 725 points, and we're seeing a correlative of about 2% off on the Dow, 2.09% on the Dow, and we're currently down about 3% on Bitcoin. We're looking for those correlations. We're looking at the top of Bitcoin today. You guys know I'm a former financial professional, etc. But this is not investment advice. That's just it. So you guys understand that. It's just great to have Angel back in the house. We want to welcome you, and Andrew. Always good to have you. Congratulations, Angel and Andrew, on your recent trades. I know that both of you have been working on your trades, and both of you have been hitting it out of the park. You've been doing extremely well. So congratulations to Angel and Andrew on your trades. We want to emulate that throughout the group. Talking about this rising wedge, you guys understand your patterns. That's going to be a very bearish pattern. We see that even on the weekly, right? Yes, we see that on the weekly. Now we can stretch out this, we can define this aside from a standard pattern behavior along the top, guys, other than like a potential triple top, etc. We can go into the dynamics here. What I want to talk about today is a little bit different of a formation, and I kind of put a teaser out there in terms of the overall tweet that I discussed today. I believe that we are seeing something which can be defined on the weekly, and I want to see how this plays out, guys. I want to see how it plays out. I think it's perfectly confined right now in the form of a descending wedge, and it's something that no one's talking about this on the weekly. The weekly is a very broad-based, potentially strong chart to look at, guys. It's something that has some dynamics in terms of, like, looking back, it's like, who's going to get past that triple or quadruple top? And we don't even talk about quadruple tops, right? That's a very solidly formed structure on the top. This here, guys, as we look at this, just some new information. Then I'm going to go down to the detail. We're going to see what we discussed yesterday, phenomenally well done, guys. Played out on the market phenomenally well. You were extremely well prepared for what happened in the market yesterday based upon what we had discussed. It's my hope that you guys can do some research on a descending wedge. Okay, this hit, what I like about this descending wedge, I'm just going to tell you in terms of the pattern formation, I really like this hit right along here. Beautiful entry into the descending wedge, establishing a line of resistance, and what a steep move this is, right? A very steep descending wedge. I like this hit, just boom, right into the resistance, following down into the line of support. You'll see if I remove this line, I really am very excited about that right there. If you will see this line, which essentially establishes that line of resistance, look at that. It's just picture perfect, like literally right along the line. It defines it for us. It makes this very easy. Currently, we're also on the weekly. On the weekly, if you'll see this secondary move here, it is just beautifully well defined. You're currently in an exact trajectory on that. I don't see anyone else, necessarily picking up on this. I mean, I don't even see with their level of analytics, etc., that they would necessarily want to. It's just the larger we can go on the macro, et cetera, is the more that you guys can hammer into this. I really see this as a positive indication that we're within a structure. Now, it can fail. I'll tell you, typically, guys, we're in the midst of a lot of pressure, and a lot of these are failing on the micro. That's one of the reasons I want to bring it up, because a lot of you in day trading, you're realizing, these are supposed to move up. They certainly are. If you guys look in the textbooks, et cetera, these are supposed to move to the upside. They're supposed to be very bullish. This is in the midst of a very strong downtrend. I'll say the ones that we have been seeing on the micro levels have tried to go up in and around this area, and then they have collapsed. Okay, so in the midst of the downtrend, I'm not willing to play this too heavily. Just me personally, not financial advice, but I'm just going to tell you, it is so clearly indicated on the weekly. I want to discuss it because you guys, we're going to experience the phenomenon of this, and you guys will know when my my hunch, my right hook, when it's going to be strong or not. When we look at this on the smaller time frames, you'll see some issues that we discussed yesterday that worked out just beautifully, phenomenally well. So this one right here, I want you guys maybe take a screenshot. If you want to take a screenshot, boom, take a screenshot and maybe even print that out. I don't know if you guys ever do that. Take a screenshot, print that out, take a look at it, maybe do your research. Yeah, maybe do a little bit of research into what you believe that the formal authorities are on this, because it is a bullish pattern, but it's just, guys, it's a tough one, guys. Jose, nice to see you. Shout out to Hot Lena in the house. Jag, also shout out to you, brother. Nice to see you. And yeah, it's anyone who's new, welcome to you. This is the hottest day trading club that you're going to find, and we also have long-term holders. Just so you know, we have long-term holders. Angel Matos is an example of someone who, he's buying and selling all the time, but he got into Bitcoin around $7.50. So we want to just shout out to Angel, and all the level of, the levels of success. Excuse me, that are represented in this group are very nice. And what do we have? Angel saying, Angel saying, we need this once in a while to keep us fresh. Let's get it. You got it, brother. You got it. Absolutely. And yeah, it's just nice to, it is nice to it's nice to see all of you. It's nice to have you back, Angel. We missed you so much when you weren't here. It was a big deal. Isaiah Vasquez in the house. Isaiah, we're looking forward to you definitely joining VIP, or at least base camp. And we haven't seen that expressed. We just haven't even seen that at all. And I'm sorry about that, but Isaiah's gone. Isaiah's been on a few conference calls with us. He's had the opportunity to participate with us at the membership level. I've invited him to a few conference calls, even allowed him to speak. And guys, we're very much a member-centric, exclusive type club, and that's just the truth. So Isaiah has just been removed from the group just for the benefit of the VIPs. I don't want anyone disrupting or who does not belong. The badges are there for a reason. I do offer as a perk VIP only streams and chats, so that is a perk for you guys in terms of the level of interaction. If you guys want to interact with the big guys, you don't just show up and say, hey, I'd love to pick your brain. No, these are some of the top guys, and top guys in crypto here. So I will reinforce that. Absolutely, I'll reinforce that without a doubt. Andrew is just hammering through in terms of his support for the community. We love to see that. And Andrew, I'm doing a lot of good work in terms of trying and advance what we've got going on right now. You guys look at Andrew, and he is such a good trader, guys. If you guys want to learn from somebody, you VIPs that are listening to this on repeat or now plugged in right now, Andrew is solid. I'm going to tell you that. Angel is solid. If you guys want to interact with them, I'd like to think that I am solidly working harder than they are, because I always tell people I'm not the best in the room, but I'm going to work twice as hard as the best in the room every time. So they like that too, and I know they're of the same mode. So Andrew, thank you so much for that $100 super chat. That tells us all you're doing well, and I know you did well. I'm very interested, Andrew, to how that trade worked out today, because we saw some variation on that, and I know it. Yeah, you saw it without me at all. But Andrew was in a big trade today, and I had to tell him, I'm like, I'm not a fan of bad technicals on a big trade. I just don't want to see anybody lose like that. And sure enough, it did crumble down, didn't it? Oof, I saw that crumble down a little bit. And now it may have great trajectory, but in terms of the volatility, I know that he was exposed in a big position. He had a heavy trade, looking at a heavy trade, and I was discussing things with him. And I was just like, I was like, I don't like, because I don't like to see my friends lose. And he's VIP. He's top shelf. He's upper crust. And I just, at the end of the day, I've seen people leave the market very upset as we look at the entirety. You guys understand the Nasdaq's down. Nasdaq down at about 152 points at 14,270 thereabouts. Bitcoin currently at 30,861, down about 2.56% off 811 points for the day. So just to reiterate that, Andrew is a phenomenal trader. He doesn't need help from any group whatsoever. He just doesn't need that. Angel just powering through with another $99. That's phenomenally well. Look at Angel, just he's going to be cranking it up, guys. This is what the key leaders are doing to express their leadership and help build this channel, and it's phenomenally exciting to see that. We just love to see that. Very, very exciting. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Andrew. You guys, keep powering through. We know you had big days, and we love it when you're able to show the community like that. In terms of your success, you are leaders for a reason. And I'm just honored, honestly honored. Big salute to be able to definitely continue to host this for you, and I cannot wait to see where all we go. I know it's going to be phenomenal. In terms of the trajectory here, in terms of I want to let you guys know in terms of even issues like legal counsel, making sure we have the strongest attorneys involved in the development of this program. That's not the kind of talk I hear from other people, and just definitely working on that. Hugely important. Not that we need an attorney for anything bad other than business structuring, compliance with the regulations, etc. But I'm ahead of the curve on that. I want to let you guys know that. And Angel, just shout out. That's hugely beneficial in terms of that. Hugely beneficial in terms of your support like that. We love it, brother. We love it, and you're leading the charge, and we wouldn't expect anything else. Andrew is up there with you, and he hit that button, did he? Yeah, he certainly did. So we love that, and he's just like, I got to hit that button too. I know he did. So Angel, you guys, you and Andrew have had a great time in terms of supporting each other in the community, and we just look forward to continued growth. This descending wedge, I think this is kind of a priceless situation here, because no one else is going to look at this, guys. I mean, I don't even know which teams, professional teams, someone would walk around a corner and say, like, hey, I have something to say. Hold on. I looked at the weekly chart and take a look at what we just had, right? So this is the type of diagnostic, the level of professionalism we want to bring to the space. It's just not always there. Angel and Andrew and, the entirety of the space that we have, the VIPs, we just appreciate that about you so much. Let's dig into the smaller time frames while we watch this weekly develop. I do want to shrink this down. I want you to see on the weekly time frame. Do you see what this looks like, guys? Take a picture, both of the levels of support, and take a picture at what you're looking at right now. Why don't I remove these descending wedges, and why don't you look at exactly what is presented before you? It is a spike, guys. That is a Bitcoin spike staring at you, right? So it is also indicative right now, very important on the weekly, guys. This previous level of support, guys, we are down past that right now. So we have, in terms of prior resistance becoming a level of support, we have the next level on the weekly. On the weekly, we have the next level of potential resistance at 19.9. Just to let you know, the prior level of resistance is, guys, it is 19.9 on the weekly, just on the weekly, guys. So there's contraindications, etc. here, on the weekly versus the daily versus the hourly. You guys know that. We always look at the different time frames. We have to, in terms of everyone in the book, etc. Just to show you guys, this is the book. People want to know, like, you watch CNBC, you watch investments, etc. It's not boring at all, guys. This is your guide. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that. Not financial advice. You read this if you want financial advice potentially, but technical analysis, okay, of the financial markets. John J. Murphy, beautiful work, right? Beautiful work. Like, just very, very, very interesting work, guys. You can look at page 321. You get even into, guys. You look even into to optimize or not to optimize. Okay, interesting issues like optimization. We were just handling an ascending triangle. Here's the descending triangle. Okay, I've expressed that on the smaller time frames. Okay, on the smaller time frames, we're getting into a descending triangle. You guys know that. So that's page 139 if you guys need that. And it's just what we covered on top would be the ascending triangle right here. Okay, page 136. Okay, guys, this is the book in terms of increasing your probabilities. This is what we want to digest. This is what we want to go through. They do have. He writes another book on commodities and futures market, and it's just we have real guys in the game. And Jose, I know you're getting into the game. I'm so glad that you have people like Angel and people like Andrew to look up to. And Andrew and Angel, do you understand what a great job you're doing through expressing yourself as a leader in the investment community? I literally am just I'm I'm not surprised. That's it. I'm really not surprised because I know both of you in terms of our ability to interact, etc. I'm just not surprised because I know them, and that's just who you are. And I'm just it doesn't stop me from being impressed. I'm not surprised, but it doesn't stop me from being impressed. Okay, and that's a nice way to put it in terms of just the character appreciation of who you both are. I love that, guys. It's just, and I like the way that I just coined that phrase. It's just nicely stated. That's from the heart. You guys know that. So rock and roll it. Way to go, both of you. Just very nice to see. Let's go into the smaller time frames. I'm very excited about the information we presented yesterday and how that did essentially how that came to fruition. What exactly happened? I think we can look at why don't we try and look at the daily? Let's step down from the weekly into the daily. And I think that we will see big shout out. I think we will see a just a phenomenal move of what we discussed yesterday, guys. I mean, just right on. You guys know, and those who were watching are like, good gosh, that was a nice call. Look at this, because what did we do, guys? We were discussing in the entirety of this channel trade. I brought up the book, et cetera. I literally, walked you through exactly where we were at in the fundamentals of technical analysis, et cetera. And what we discussed yesterday, it was this rolling up into this channel. Guys, look at this. Do you think this channel means something now? Now you're looking at it like, I think the channel's there, right? I've been discussing this channel for a long time in terms of the established line of resistance along the top, multiple hits, okay? Established line of support along the bottom. What do we have? We had a pour down, then we had this hook here. Yesterday, guys, for 12 hours, it can be frustrating on the daily, excuse me. On the hourly, let enough alone, yes. On the hourly, certainly, but on the daily, for 12 hours, it was sitting there. And I went home, and it's still sitting there. And I wake up, I'm like, it's not still sitting there. Just deciding if it wanted to reconfirm and move to the downside, right? We always look for this confirmation. That, to me, is a significant confirmation on the daily chart, guys. And that matches up so well with what we were discussing yesterday. And it's just beautiful. That's the level. I mean, guys, just look at this on the daily. What's nice about it is we have this previous intermittent double bottom here. Guys, it's just a big deal. If you understand your charts, this is a big deal. It's a beautiful demonstration of price action. We had a potential, in here, I say triple hit at about this level, okay? And in line with that, we tried to come up, essentially, I'll say, and this will be an interesting line to draw. This was almost in line with that, just to kind of measure through the analytics here and the pricing behavior we have. As we look at this, though, guys, this channel could not be held. It just couldn't be held. The good thing, as we discussed it yesterday, it was literally teetering along that. So, and you guys, in terms of your positions, you are so far ahead of this game. You are so far ahead of the game. I'm so excited to continually have you guys here. It's just, this is what we need, right? We need to be talking about this specifically and have these continually play out. It's just, it's VIP time, guys. Way to go on that. And, I'm not sorry about kicking out the guy. I just have to tell you, I'm not sorry about kicking out the guy who had been here a few times and wants to, strut up, and he wants to do whatever he wants to do and pick your brains, do all these things. No, I protect the VIPs as if I had a club, as if I had, it's not a bottle of Dom Perignon, senor. It's, sir, it is what can I deliver you in terms of charts? How can I facilitate your trade, your trade goals? How can we help achieve that? Not financial advice, but guys, I've worked with some big dogs in the past, some heavy hitter, I don't know how to say it, that's colloquially cool and also not too rigid, right? I've worked with some heavy hitters, guys, CEOs. I've worked with some, big tycoons, billionaire, extraordinaire kind of guys, and handle some big deals with them. So the level of, just the heartfelt desire to get in with you guys and to, and just to tear it up with you. Like I want to tell you, I had the same dynamic. Like I wanted to get in, I want to do the business deal with you. I want to trade with you all the time. Understand? I put a lot of time. This is a big deal. I talked to you guys about this in Angel interview. You understand this? This is kind of a little bit of VIP personal time. Sometimes I get to trade. Sometimes I'm going through diagnostics for you guys, and just understand, for me, that's a big deal, huh? Like, I like to trade, and you guys know that, and I know you do too, and you're putting a lot of effort towards the community as well. So as we express that to the community, let's just do it and give them a nice nod and be like, that's why we're here, because we can do both, right? And I know you guys are focused on your trades, but it says a lot that because I want to tear it up with you. Full time, like Andrew was talking about a trade. Angel was talking about a trade, and the things that sometimes that I've covered or not, and I'm like, well, and they traded it, and it's like, I haven't had time. I was like, dang it, I haven't had time, but I'm putting forth the effort to build the channel, to build the VIP, to build the group, because we're gonna crank this thing up. And as it gets down into lower prices, as people begin to become more interested, the lower that it goes, yes, people are starting to realize, like, oh, you've been focused on this since the top. Absolutely, since the top, we've been focused on heavy reserve cash, continually, what would you say, instilling that dynamic, that VIP dynamic. Their strategy, guys, hugely important. Always reserving that capital at the lower levels, hugely important. And as we look at this breakdown, potentially it's an important move, not too much of but for. But as we look at this, a few different indications, and I'll let you know this. This is a breakdown of this level as well, and this is an interesting moment here. Let's talk about this. Let's draw this into the trading dynamic. Okay, essentially what the traders are going to be looking at right now. Okay, you just not only copied and confirmed out of essentially this channel line here, which could have been a bull flag, guys. This could have been a move to the upside. Okay, it could have been a nice move to the upside. Now, when it pushed lower and lower, the bull flag option died. Okay, so it could have been very quickly here, boom, boom, could have moved to the upside with a measured move of the essentially flags fly at half mast. Look at the way that's, instead of a bull flag, the way that it's just poured down. In the midst of it doing that, let me reiterate, excuse me. Okay, reiterate, we had a bullish flag, and I'll say on the different time frames, it was clearly indicated, guys, very clearly indicated. You know that. We've done those diagnostics heavily, but I do want to recover that. I want to cover that again for anyone who wasn't here. And on the smaller time frames, it was an express channel, and the move to the upside, I think after, essentially once we got to that breakthrough moment, it became something that could have been definitely traded on a bullish pattern technique. And you would not have wanted to look back and just say, well, we couldn't establish any kind of a channel. There was nice dynamic along the line of resistance and the line of support. Okay. It didn't have the multi-bounce effect here. That multi-bounce effect here amidst the downtrend really got us in trouble a little bit. So let me see if we are okay on the. Let's see. Well, looks like we have a little bit of a break in the action. I'm not sure why. Well, I'm not sure what happened. All I know is that the lights cut off for a minute, and then I lit up my cigar. So I'm very sorry about that. That was not intentional. Excuse me. But this is kind of like a VIP HQ. Looks like we're connected back. If you guys get that interruption, we've got a heavy amount of equipment that's being fed through to different Wi-Fi's, etc. And I didn't know, maybe I don't think my guitar, my cigar had anything to do with it. I'm not playing guitar over here, right? It's like, no, you're not playing guitar. We're trying to get through some heavy fundamentals. So it does bother me when that happens. You guys know that. It was funny, slip of the tongue there. So in terms of this, just understand that we're in a very critical moment here, a very critical moment in terms of this expression, this downward channel, downward channel, guys. And we've broken out of that, reconfirmed. And guys, just look at this. We've reconfirmed through not only this, but we have broken this line of support, which is a big deal. Now, the question is going to be, we reconfirmed here, and this will be interesting for you guys who want to trade. I think people will heavily look at this. Okay, we reconfirmed here on the breakout of this downward channel. Okay, great. Now, is there any requirement? Do you guys anticipate that we would want to reconfirm here? It's a very interesting question, because that's a decent swing from the 30,000 up to the 31.25 if you could get back up there. And now that's going to be an interesting play for a lot of people. Very interesting play in terms of how that's an interesting dynamic, I think, for even people who, and especially for people who trade a lot. Are you going to expect a breakdown and a reconfirmation from this point? I say, some people may be interested in that trade, very interested in that trade. So that's a nice dynamic to look into. There are strategies to play into that trade. You guys know that. And everybody's like, okay, so potentially a move. Potentially, in terms of the exposure on it to the downside, you could definitely cover it with I'm not going to tell you what you could cover it with in terms of insurance, but you've got a 30,800 expressed by a potential move back up to a 31,339. Okay, now in terms of, I'll talk about a broad open move in terms of a long position covered by a potential downside position to the essentially to a maximum multiple thereof. So you can get into the nuances thereof. We don't always get into those, guys. Not financial advice, but in terms of that level of sophistication, that is something that we would really want to look at, and really, again, guys, with the fine tooth comb, with the magnifying glass, get into that. I'm sorry we had troubles with the stream. If we have that a few more times, I can try and do a direct plug in with the internet, etc. I don't think it's processing power. I know it's not processing power. It could be internet, etc. So unless you guys are just killing it with the super chats, I don't know. Maybe YouTube is putting a pause on things. It could be maybe Angel and Andrew are just killing the feed with maybe they're breaking the internet. It's very possible, very possible. So as we look at this, guys, just understand we could as we have broken down through this and reconfirmed along the top of this and guys, what is this? It's a former line of support, right? Former line of support that is reconfirmed and turned into resistance and moved, bam, to the downside. Now, as we've done this, we have a different line. Now, the issue is we have 1, 2, 3 hits, guys. We have 1, 2, 3 hits along what? Well, it's 1, 2, 3 hits. 1, 2, 3 hits along what? Something that has been a former line of support to whatever degree. To whatever degree. Okay, 1, 2, 3 lines of support. You copy that. Everybody's like, okay, we got that. 3 lines of support. Now, is it going to need to turn into a resistance? It's a former support. Will it need to turn into resistance? It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. Now, I'm not, in terms of being long in this position, I'll tell you the only interesting thing about it is no one else would want to do it, right? Literally, no. And now I trade fake outs all the time. That's one of my favorite things to do is trade a fake out on something. So, I like to hedge and leverage, etc., with my positions on something long, short, etc., whether I'm buying, selling. I enjoy doing that. We have VIP members that that they understand the concept. It's a little bit advanced in terms of just the willingness to do it. Not everyone's going to trade a fake out. Well, if you watch the price action on the lower levels when something is faking out or breaking out, it's for good. It's a nice thing to be able to do. I never do it without telling you guys. I never trade a fake out around you. I don't want you to think I'm misplacing or shuffling the dominoes behind you, or the cards. I don't have a card up my sleeve, right? So I think that's just the truth. So it's important to say. And today's kind of just like to settle in for a little bit if we can. And I want this to comport with us in terms of the overall feed, but I just want everybody to kind of settle in, kind of relax, guys. We're ahead of the game in terms of where everything has been. We're not catching up. We're not Johnny-come-latelys on this, the entirety of this move here. We've been talking about reserve cash since the top, guys. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a key deal, guys. You understand that in terms of as we get lower in price, and you just see the threshold as you look at the overall, this consolidation over the last 60, 61 essentially days here, you guys, you do understand that, like, we are if we look at the regression trend, let's start with that. The regression trend, it's underneath the line, the trend line, but that regression trend is going to give you essentially the dynamic. So the standard deviation, guys, that's just think of the middle. Just think you're stuck in the middle, right? Right now, essentially breaking down from that. But we do have that line of support. A lot of times you guys will try and draw a line of support. It's a little frustrating for you. Well, just that regression model, guys, it's going to draw a very, very nice line of support, line of resistance. Now, the problem with this regression trend is that it's really not expressing itself to the upside much. And the regression trend, just note this as a fact, and those of you who are new, note the fact that as you have some sort of a variance here within this channel, because you could just look at it as a great way to formulate channels, right? Okay, a line of resistance, line of support. When you have a variance like this, it's going to the upside like this. It's going to lift the entirety of the channel to where I wouldn't say it would be, and just understand this for the future, for your trading dynamics, as you learn how to trade, just the mathematics behind it, guys. The essentials of this, it's going to lift the entirety of the channel. If you see the empty space in the blue, all right? If you see the empty space towards the top, it is incorporating that level, that move to the upside, to where it's not exactly the type of channel you would want to trade. So always be careful if you have a variance in your channel, in the price expression, okay, and you're trying to establish something to trade, because a lot of people swing trade. You'll buy low, sell high within an established channel, right? That's a fundamental, guys. You guys know that. But as you see any kind of a variance, we'll cover that just right now for people that are listening, for your VIPs, that, you always want to incorporate it and always make sure within your channel designation that, yes, we do have a very level of variability here. And that's a crucially important lesson for today that I remind myself of lessons every time I talk about one, guys. There's no dogmatic principle here, or there's no ego here, guys. Every time I go through something, I remind myself about it. I like repeating and going through the lessons that the market can teach us, so that we stay sharp. Because you can know the book, you can know 10 books or 100 books, but it's about those refresher courses. It's about those dynamics that can play into potentially even let's see how we can apply that. Let's get into this a little bit. Now, in terms of this breakdown, would we need to reconfirm up? Let's go into the deeper time frames a bit. That's a possibility, a reconfirmation up, okay, to the upside. I would say that. Before we get done with this, let's go ahead and draw out, if we can. Now, this is kind of interesting here, just a bit interesting. I'll go ahead and bring this up because I don't believe it's really, hugely strongly indicated. However, it does kind of exist. I'm going to bring up this, and I think we're going to get more into a channel formation here in terms of the expression of this, because we did have that nice, if you guys didn't see the very beginning of this stream, I'd recommend you watch it, guys. I just would recommend that you watch it. I'm talking about the downward wedge, that sliding wedge, guys, on the weekly. Yeah, I think that was a very interesting move. Now, we don't have much of a wedge formation here. It's just a real tight channel, so I'm not going to say that that's a descending wedge. I do want to check that. Definitely, as we look at this, there are probably some different wedges that could be drawn here, but I don't really. It's just a downward sloping channel, a straight line down. We have the similar feet kind of here with a straight line up, etc. Looks like BitHeight CEO in the house, former military. What's up? Nice to see you. VIP BitHeight CEO, she is. Very, very nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. We're covering some great stuff today. We were just covering, covering exactly how things worked out from yesterday, and we've just reconfirmed along this line of the breakout of the expression of this downward channel. So that's what we were covering yesterday. I hope you're well prepared for that. As you look at, a lot of people are looking for an entry into the market. Everyone wants to know. Everyone that I meet, I tell them kind of what we do in the group dynamic that we have. Everyone wants to get involved in Bitcoin. It's like now people are looking at what price. Some people invested a little bit too high, and they've since taken their money out. Now they're waiting for a better price. It's kind of an interesting dynamic that's going on. We've been focusing on that for months now, guys. It's for months. Like, we're going to get it when it gets there. We're going to get it. I'm just going to tell you that. In terms of the expression of the entirety of this move, you guys know what we have paid most attention to most recently is the idea of, and not just on this basis, guys. I'm going to say on the candles. If we go to the candlesticks, it's going to be very interesting. Now we have some little bit of technical interference. I'm just going to say on the charts, just from the deliverables in terms of the I'm going to say in terms of the indicators that I have. It looks. I don't want it to look messy at all. I've gone to the candlesticks because if people draw on the candlesticks, you have some huge downside potential. You guys know that. Okay, these candlesticks establish essentially a very interesting multiple hit along the bottom. We're looking for that in a descending triangle. This descending line, line of support, the flat line of resistance. I'm sorry, descending line of what? Here we go. If I have any more things go on around me at once, it'll be interesting. Excuse me. I just need to light my cigar up and rest for a second, guys. I've been at this like nobody's business. Descending line of resistance. Okay, we have a flat line of what? You guys tell me. Of support. It's been a long day, guys. I'm going to tell you, it's been a long day. Been a good day, but it's been a long day. So as we look at the descending triangle, this is why we have our book. This is why we have reference materials. Like, London's had a long day. I've had a long day. It's okay, but we're excited. I'm excited. I'm very excited to be able to discuss things with you. It's just we just had I have just had a very interesting discussion with some different individuals. It had nothing to do with the fact that I just had to talk with the attorney. That was the good talk. That was really exciting talk today. If you can imagine that, it was just that was a really great part of today. And it's some very interesting, if you guys read through the chats, etc., some very interesting developments in terms of who I'll be discussing things with tomorrow in terms of the channel. Like, wow, okay. I'm not sure, Angel, if you read that or whoever else read that, but I'll be discussing things with hopefully one of the top corporate attorneys in the U.S. Tomorrow in terms of the channel, kind of the channel, the future of what we're building and what all is going on. I feel I feel it's necessary for me to go that extra mile for you guys. So it's, I did hit it early, and I want to let you guys know we stayed up on a conference call with Lars and Eric and whoever else wanted to chat last night. I stayed up on a conference call. I got up at the crack of dawn today to go and meet with, essentially to go say hello to one attorney, one big timer, he's a big timer, guys. And so I did go see him, and thank God he was there. And I do literally thank God he was there. And he's doing real well. He's been real busy with some governmental issues, etc. Just a good guy, and he's one of the leaders in this. I'd say in the community, country, etc. And internationally, he's an international leader. So I did get up very early to do that, and just decided I'm going to hit this. I normally like to stay up with crypto. We have a good time, as I'm blanketing this down, guys. Descending triangle, resistance, support. We got that. Okay. Anything that holds up the price is going to be the support. Okay. So, yeah, running on a little bit of fumes, but hey, that hadn't stopped us before, right? So that we get into this line of support here with the multiple hits along the candle wicks, guys. These candle wicks are hugely important, both at this first hit and this second hit. You guys bring this up on your chart. Okay. Go to the hourly chart, bring these hits up. I have this blue wave line here, guys. That's a real important indicator. So we look at that, guys. It's a real important indicator that I have, and it's an equivalent of the RSI. I'm just going to tell you that it's kind of a balanced RSI. I would say it likes to get hit, guys. It likes to get hit. When it gets hit, it likes to go up. But sometimes it'll dig into it. Multiple time frame analysis will clear that up. So as we look at the, I was looking at just, it was one of those days. I know you guys push through in terms of business, etc. Just know that I am trying to do that as best I can and deal with the whole media production, all this other. It's just not easy stuff. We got like 3-4 rigs going at one time, and it's fun. It's definitely it's fun. Yeah, but it's a challenge, right? So as we look at this. We're unstoppable. We're VIP. We're not going to let anything stop us at all. So in terms of this formation, you guys understand this is always, guys, this formation is always going to be bearish. It's always going to want to break down. Descending triangles, as a matter of fact, always want to break down. If they push, if they break out, guys, it's still a very bearish pattern. They're very difficult to beat. Now, what we have is I'd say a nuance of this. The nuance that we have is that it has, on the line chart, it has just ridden the top of this. It's ridden the top of this resistance, but you see how strong of a line of resistance that is? That's just like it cannot get up over it. It tried to break out, and you'll see even the clear lines of, essentially here along the top. It tried to, use this as a confirmation line to move to the upside. It couldn't do it, guys. And then once it did break back down, I don't think the confirmation would have been that heavily expressed. So it was in trouble at that point. So when we look at this descending triangle, wherever they show up, wherever on the charts, guys, they're bearish. That's just it. At the top, at the bottom, wherever it is, even at the bottom, they're still even more bearish. So they can push. When I say push, guys, when you talk about something pushing, okay, when something pushes, I'm saying something could break out like this from the descending triangle. Let's go ahead and talk about how they might push, just so we learn a little bit of something here. Let's go into. Everybody's like, London's tired. He got up to meet with an attorney. Yeah, I did. He's a good guy. He's one of the best guys. He's an international, extraordinary kind of guy. I'm going to tell you that. So if we were to break out of this, let's say to the upside and push to the upside, well, what's going to happen to the descending triangle? Well, the problem with the descending triangle is this is what's going to happen to the descending triangle. It's going to push. When I say push, yeah, it's going to redefine its limits like this. You see, so this descending triangle can continue, and that's why they're so hard to break, guys. You can't get the momentum and the force behind you to behind something that's going to continually push like this. I say push because this line of resistance is just going to push up. It could push up all the way to essentially, unless we establish like a flat line channel, then okay, we could start talking about, okay, well, maybe we have a potential for reversal, although it's going to be what? It's going to be a continuation channel. You guys see the difficulty. Understand this, guys. If we were to push back up to the top line of this former resistance here that we met in along the lines of 40,495 and around 40,774, if we were to push back up to the top of that, think about this, guys. Then we're what? Then we're within a continuation channel, essentially, that's going to want to continue to the downside. It's just not. It's not easy to beat this whole. You understand that, guys? You look that up in your textbook. You make sure that that's an accurate statement. You'll find that it's going to be a continuation channel, particularly within the expression that it's got. So we have got some monumental tasks before us in terms of this. And the bears have it right now. People want to know whether or not we're in a bear market. I just want to bring this back up real quickly as we kind of redefine where we're at. We discuss this weekly. And if you guys are new, or if you just have shown up in the stream, please hit the like button. I would appreciate that. Just some support along with Andrew and Angel that know that we are really hustling and trying to bring you guys all of the best information that we possibly can. Getting up early, going to meet with people that are plugged in with some pretty heavy people. You guys know that, plugged in with some pretty heavy people. Anyway, in terms of that, we're gonna continue to do that, and I will bust it and burn the candle at both ends, and I do not mind. I'll do it for my VIPs 24/7 if we have to. We'll get this thing done. So there's no quit in me, and I know you VIPs doing the same continually. So we run through it. Now, in terms of this. In terms of staying sharp, let's go back to the weekly. Let's reframe this. Look at this, guys. This is, do the bears have it? Guys, do you think the Bears have it? I think the Bears have it right now. Bulls had it here, right? Bulls had it here. Expressed by what's a bull market, guys? 95% of the people in a bull market who are long on a stock or commodity or a coin, 95% of the people who are long already have a relatively maximized position in, let's say, Bitcoin or in a specific stock or in the stock market. That defines a bull market, okay? That is what you'll find in the technicals, okay? And I talk about the technicals. That's the kind of the institutional definition of a bull market. As you guys look at the books and the materials, that's the institutional definition, okay? That's just me repeating that, not financial advice. That's literally the definition. So, nice to see you, Mark. Way to show up. Very, very nice to see you. And yeah, the circumstance here that we'll continue to reframe our position here. We can discuss what we covered a little bit early on was the level of specificity needed, as some people might have decided. Well, this looks like a even here, guys. Even here, you could have said, well, maybe it's just forming a nice a nice long ascending triangle. Okay, this would be the support that's rising. The top line, which is more or less flattened. We don't want more or less anything, guys. We want the exact specificity in terms of how things are exactly expressed. We want to hone in. If you guys hold down control, bam, hold down control on your keyboard, right? You guys know that. Let's see. The market was down. Oh, are you having trouble with your audio? But did you say the market was down? Yeah, I mean, yeah, the market is down. The Dow is off today. The S&P 500, the S&P 500 is off 68 to 4,258. It's down about 1.59% for the day. The NASDAQ is down 152, just so you guys keep up with things. It's currently at 14,274, down about 1.06%, a little off, a little bit more than 1%. So yes, and in terms of the audio, Angel, I'm sorry that you are having problems with that at all. I know you have that boom and stereo system, so I would hope that you can crank it if you can. And yeah, is anyone else having audio issues? That would be important for me to know. We can definitely try and correct that, but I would hope that it's okay. Now, the more likely expression here, once we really respect these patterns on the top, guys, is this ascending wedge. An ascending wedge that was really confirmed off on heavily, right? Correct. And just to cover, guys, what we covered in the very beginning, so that you guys don't have to rewatch the entirety of this, we covered the other dynamic here, very clearly expressed on the weekly, guys. On the weekly of a descending wedge. Okay, this descending wedge is nicely put together right now. I'm going to say that on the weekly. Now, this has been, it's essentially, it can be a very, I'm going to say it's a bullish pattern, guys. It's going to want to break to the upside. You see the well-defined structure of the descending wedge right in line with the line, guys. It just gives you this line of support. Now, if this breaks down, there's not much more room for this to break down than to straight down, guys. If it wants to break down and reject this somehow, that would be a pretty vicious move to the downside. We're talking about this now because these have frustrated a lot in different trades as we've been day trading. We've seen them. I've stayed away from the last 2-3 weeks. You guys know that. I have stayed away from descending wedges, if anything. And I'm telling you, like a flip trade, this and that, if it's supposed to move to the upside, and I'm just like, well, we're maybe playing this out at this, maybe a 2% move. I mean, it's been small, guys. These have been dangerous in the down market. So much downward pressure, and I think you guys will definitely agree with that. We're back on board in terms of solid kind of market activity, definitely in terms of what things are doing. Bitcoin currently down $919 at 30,700, 30,758. I'm showing. So yeah, it's a down day for Bitcoin in line with the broader market. It's currently down about 3.12%. So we are seeing this expression, this chart formation that we would say 8 days a week. Yeah, this is a bullish expression. Okay, and we have it very clearly defined here, very clearly defined within this line of support and resistance, guys. And I like the way, again, that this is hooked into this on the weekly. It's just a very, very positively, expressed move that we could expect. Typically, I'm going to say in this market, I'm not looking to trade this too heavily. There will be some other indicators I'd want to look at. Definitely, I'd want to look at even on this time frame. I'm going to want to look at that RSI on the weekly, and you guys know it's got a little bit of ways to go. If we can get that down from, is it currently still above 40? It is. On the weekly, you're currently at about 41.40 on the weekly RSI. I'd love to see that weekly RSI dig down to 30. Wouldn't you guys? Wouldn't that be nice to see that weekly RSI It may be ambitious, but I think we can potentially get there. So in terms of that, that's what I'm looking at, me personally. So you guys know the indications and how they work in terms of the technical indicators. That relative strength index is a key feature. A lot of people use that as the primary, their primary indicator. People who are becoming familiar with the space, you understand you want that RSI below 30, and you want to do your cross analytics on as many time frames as you can. TradingView, this is the pro edition of TradingView, the professional pro edition, whatever that may be, that top line level of TradingView, just to bring you guys that top level of analytics. And as we look at this, I do want to talk about, we were able to have a conference call last night, and we were also able to talk to AJ. So we appreciate the ability to talk to AJ. Since you sent me a pic on Twitter, I need to see something positive on Twitter. Thank you very much, Angel. I definitely appreciate that from Angel. Angel's always entertaining us. You guys know we just have a blast. And in terms of you guys wanting constant, some people will show up and they just want constant feed and constant technicals, so they don't like it. They don't realize we're together all day long doing technical analysis. You guys know that? I mean, we're together all day long in the back room. So like they show up and they don't like it, and we're doing technicals all day long. So I'll bring, if I've covered something, I'll definitely bring something to the attention of the group herein. But it's also kind of like, well, we're doing this all day long, right? It's a nice thing for us to know that as a group. We're definitely killing it. So let me see what Angel sent me in the back room. The photo. Let's see what you got. Let's see what we got. There we go. And boom. I like that. Is that what I think it is, Angel? Is that just an absolute? It is. Angel has covered up his entire table of cash again. Angel, what are we going to do with you? You want to show them your workspace, because that's a good workspace. I like the way that one looks. It's a table full of cash. Then if you want me to demonstrate that to the community in terms of the ability to have reserve cash, I think it's important. Do you want to we can demonstrate that, but you let me know if you want to demonstrate that to the community in terms of your ability to re-engage at lower levels. I think Angel is teaching us a lesson here. Angel, if you'd like me to demonstrate that to the community, I'd be happy to do that. And so as it's just a funny picture, you guys, if you see, it's like he has a table full of cash, and just on one side, right? It's just not the entire table, just on one side. So that's nice. It's just important to recognize that you need backup cash. That's what he would tell you. That's kind of me relaying that message, and that's very exciting. If you guys have other time frames you want to go through, this line of essentially this top line, this is, guys, we have been through the rising wedge plenty of times. You guys look at this reconfirmation in terms of this, just bam, hitting the former line of, I would like to say support if we go to the other time frames. Look at the books, baby. Let's see what we have. You guys want to see something good? Let's see what Angel has here for us. Okay, there we go. And look at those books. Look at those books wide open, huh? Look at that. And look at that cash just rolling. And we're live right on there. I love that picture. That's a great picture. Love that. Just in case you need to pick some of that up for the lower levels. Absolutely, it's a beautiful picture. Love that. And the books. Angel's getting into this, and he's a great story of someone who has huge intuition in terms of and market instinct to pick up, buy low, sell high. He's had phenomenal success at that, and it's just nice to see you with the books. Yeah, pretty impressive. Stepping up with the books, not bad at all. So that's definitely exciting. And the one thing it's funny, I always tell people, like, eat well, sleep well, make sure that you invest in those relationships. And here I am today, just running on fumes a little bit. You guys know that, but and that's part of the reason, just for it, that we stay sharp, right? We have to stay sharp, right? And so in terms of that, that's just that's an important dynamic. A lot of people are looking at this in terms of kind of a micro, and I'm going to say a lot of people, I'm just going to say you may be looking at this in terms of kind of a descending wedge in between this on the hourly time frame. We can go to Bitcoin on the hourly time frame, and as we do pattern recognition, guys, it's hugely important on the continue to try and achieve as much pattern recognition as you can on the macro, on different time frames, on the micro, etc., on the big picture, going down to the smaller picture. It's just hugely important to continually, repetitively go after these patterns, continually trying to find something someone else hasn't found. Is there a different part of the story? If the majority of the market loses and they're all looking at the same patterns or the same ideas on different channels, etc., what is it that we do differently? Well, we're constantly looking as the story changes constantly and trying to conform it to essentially to maximize our the probabilities of our trade. We're never in a rush to get into a trade, and you guys understand that part of the discipline that Angel and Andrew bring to the table, and a lot of the VIPs, but then particularly I'm going to say is they're very willing to wait. Yeah, to wait if it's not a high probability trade. And you guys, a lot of times with me, I'll back off a position or a situation. And I'm not, I'm not looking at getting into a trade that is not, that is not a high probability. So it's kind of I don't know, a very important factor as we look at that. The Nasdaq currently is still down about 1.06% off 1.52. It looks like we may be closed at the market. I'm looking at the market now. Bitcoin's still moving. There we go. I see something moving. 924 off at 30,747. So 30,747 down 2.92%. I've got two market TVs going behind me, so we are kind of plugged in that regard. Now, in terms of this, we have failed to express the full, essentially the full nature of this if we wanted to turn this into a descending wedge. There are some different patterns that we have played out here on the macro, on the weekly, that I think make it important for us to kind of stay consistent with that. Okay, so that's one of the dynamics as you look at, well, which pattern should we choose right now? Well, it's going to be the pattern that continues to conform across. Okay, it's going to have a level of conformance, consistency across the different time frames, right? And that's going to be very important for us. The one that has the consistency right now across the time frames is going to be this channel breakdown, and it looks like it's really struggled in a really kind of ugly way here to get back up into this channel. What we talked about yesterday, and I'm glad that we talked about it, guys. We talked about kind of the rounding nature of this formation here. We talked about this rounding, and you guys will understand this. You'll remember this from yesterday. We talked about the rounding function of this, right? We did. We talked about the rounding function of this and the fact that we anticipated that this would go to the downside. You guys recall that? Yeah, this rounding function, the multiple peaks, inability to establish a kind of a higher high. You just see very much it is the rounding, and it is not much of a higher. The amplitude is changing, the slope is changing, right? So we have that rounding function going on between the peaks. This peak here, the first, the second, the third, and the fourth, guys. That rounding function, hugely important as we look at this. We expected it. I pointed it out 3 or 4 times. I expected to move to the downside, and what did I say? We did get that move down to the downside. Definitely, excuse me. As we talk about that, we brought that up probably 3, 4, 5 times, and I discussed that in length in terms of the move to the downside that I anticipated. And I likened it, guys, to the entirety of Bitcoin and the entirety of the top of Bitcoin. And I made that analogy and just wanted to let you guys know that as you do the macro to the micro, we can see that rounding. Let me get rid of this rising wedge. This is a nice instructional. I think that the technicals are providing us, not particularly me providing you, but the technicals are demonstrating to us that same rounding function and along the top of Bitcoin. You see that top, the rounding, this intermittent, this high, this kind of frustrated lower slope high here. 1, 2, 3, and the 4 is lower. This rounding function, and thereafter we saw on the macro, we saw this drop down after that rounding function. Bam. Now we see just in the microcosm, I think it's very, very beneficial for us to review this. Because we saw exactly what we had discussed with precision, guys, in terms of that analogy that was drawn. I think it's a very important analogy. Let me get rid of this trend line here just to see this rounding function again, because you'll see this repeated. And to the extent that you can start doing your empirical analysis or your data analytics, guys, this rounding function here, just like at the top of Bitcoin, the rounding function here doing what? Breaking to the downside. Okay, so very, very very clear in terms of technical analysis. It's something that we that we, in terms of, I don't want to get too detailed in terms of Elliott wave analysis. Elliott is something that's very well respected in the realm of technical analysis. You guys will understand that. John J. Murphy, his crew, New York Institute of Finance, they are very, very familiar with Elliott wave analysis. You guys may have their materials. Some of you may be certified. We always like our members, if they want to become certified with the New York Institute of Finance. The benefit of the VIP, you guys understand that what I benefit from as well. The former BlackRock, former JP Morgan, you guys are incredible to spend time with, and I want you guys to know that I mean that, and it's a pleasure to spend time with you. I hope that you take that the commentary in terms of the New York Institute of Finance, etc., as something that is a reinforcement of skills that I understand you already have. Please don't ever be insulted. Just more of a reinforcement for the rest of the community. And you guys with JP Morgan, BlackRock, etc., you understand that that's where some of you have trained at the New York Institute of Finance. They're kind of, I always give them a joke at the back door of Wall Street. So the materials that we do use consistently recently, and for whatever reason, guys, I've been studying this stuff since high school. I'm walking around with the New York Institute of Finance book in my hands in high school. I don't know why. It's just always that way. I've always enjoyed technical analysis, and I think that's one of the reasons we were so successful around the top of Bitcoin in terms of the knowledge that was demonstrated to the individuals that we were spending the most time with. That was what was demonstrated to them. In terms of that top formation, we've been through kind of the nuance that in terms of the triangulation at the top, etc., how that was expressed. This what we'll go back to is after we've covered this, the rounding. Okay, essentially, guys, this is just as you look at it, and what I've done, I think that has made the most sense to individuals. Let me go ahead and just do this so that we're all on the same page in terms of the top of Bitcoin. What we're going to look at in terms of understanding this is the following. We had a great move up, okay? Again, just a bull march up along. We had achieved, let's go ahead and do the measurements just so you understand. From bottom to top over about in less than a year, guys, it was over a 500% return, a 517% return. Phenomenal returns, okay? Now, we achieved, that march up, and you guys will remember, if you got it wrong, you're not alone, guys. JP Morgan director level, okay, board of directors level came out in January after it surpassed, what was that? After it touched over 40,800, essentially, at that 40,800 mark. I recall the director level from the board of directors of JP Morgan coming out and saying Bitcoin may never get over 40,000 again. Now, what was he looking at? Okay, at that time, guys, understand that he was also looking at the same type of wave formation, the same type of pattern behavior here, thinking that this may have occurred on the macro. You see this, a high, we have another high, then we have a frustration, and essentially, what would be a potential pour down event. We can distinguish this from the top event, but I understand why he said that. Now, that's the difficulty as people, compare the microcosmic, essentially the micro to the macro. But as we continued to march up, this was a very nice measured move if you were able to recognize this move here, and essentially, just a very, very nice, what we've covered before, very nice bull flag, guys, hugely nice bull flag in line with that. So as he was looking at I want to talk about the rounding function, just what I'll get into, which will make more sense to you, and we will bring up that bull flag because that was a hefty, nice bull flag, guys, with a completely kind of beautiful repeat pattern behavior, guys. In terms of the base of the move, they do say that flags fly at half mast. You guys know that, guys on the street. I mean, Wall Street, guys. They will say just the ones I've been around. I'll say the ones that I've been around have definitely stated that that's the lingo. You guys know the book, the book, quote unquote, the book is going to be. Is going to be the book that we use. That I can confirm that through personal information, etc. And just it's the one I've been studying, the one you guys are currently laid into, the one Angel has on his desk with all that cash. Angel, I like to see that cash. Hopefully you're there. I'm sure you have the job of counting it today, probably for business purposes. A lot of people, a lot of you handle a lot of that. So what we have is, and there are two different dynamics here we can get into in terms of this formation of the bull run up. Yeah, and we can always train for the next bull run up while we're amidst this consolidation. We don't have to be bored by the price action right now. We've covered the entirety of the moves, the breakout from the channel along with the confirmation to the downside, exactly expressive of what we discussed yesterday in terms of also this rounding function. I want to discuss that in the entirety here, also along with the giving credit to someone, guys, because it's not all the time we're going to say, well, such and such was wrong. Like, I'm not going to harp on the board of directors of JP Morgan. He did come out in public at 40,800 and say that what did he say? As I recall, it was again, this was the news. Is the news right all the time? I don't know, guys, but I do recall, I think, a personal interview, and he just stated cautiously, I think, for the benefit of his investors. I'll give him just a big credit to that. And shout out to Jay in our group, and hello, Julie, nice to see you. But Jay was with J.P. Morgan, and I think they've taken a very cautious look at Bitcoin as it was marching up. Probably, Jay might know specifically in terms of what the recommendations were. That's not my business. I'm not here to discuss inside information at all. Nor to provide financial advice. That's not where I sit. At all in the realm of this. It's I couldn't, if I wanted to, or was had set up shop to do it. And I'm not. I'll just tell you that I am not. That's not my purpose in being here. The main dynamic that we're looking at. I even contacted the State Board of Regulations for securities, the Security Board of Regulations here in Texas, and it was so interesting to get back an email from her. And I was discussing financial advice, etc. What cautionary expressives do I need to maintain, etc. I get something in writing back from her. She's like, well, unfortunately, Bitcoin is not even a security. So in terms of the application of that, you're going to have to look at that. It doesn't really apply. And I'm like, well, I'm still going to tell you guys all the time, like, go seek the advice of a broker. Go do that. We do have brokers, etc., in the group that you guys, if you guys want to discuss, or investment bankers, whatever, what have you. A lot of you are involved in finance, of course. You guys are involved in investing, but the expression that I got was that I couldn't essentially, and I don't think anyone could. And maybe they're starting to, but that qualification to provide brokerage services for even particularly altcoins, etc. Some of them are completely outside of the realm of what's even possible these days. So the follow up that I'll get into in terms of this expression, this bullish flag that you're seeing here along the march up, you guys will just see this repetitive measuring here. Bullish flag at half mast. Do you see that? Boom, boom. Right. You have this downward sloping channel, this sloping downward against the trend. This trend was up, right? This was during the bullish trend. So as we kind of review some of the fundamentals of technical analysis, just understand this move up, this amplitude here, carried forward just beautifully. So I know once that pattern was established, and I'll say they got some people on film, etc., with CNBC around this top part here, and I don't believe that was as we look at things, I don't believe that was definitely definitely we have some issues in the back here. Everything okay? Okay, great. I think next time we can use that other side there. I don't want you to trip on anything, or damage anything, but you just have at it. Anyway, purposeful flag on the field. That's okay. Everything okay? Thanks so much. Anyway, so we have a flag on the field. That's all right. So as we look at this, I know that his opinion would have changed here in line with this. We have this expression. I understand that people probably, and Jay, you could probably speak to this or not. I'm trying not to laugh. As we would speak to this or not, we would probably have an expression that I bet you along this reconfirmation outside of this bull flag, I bet you that the board of directors and the analysts and the traders, I imagine their expression would have changed immediately upon the formation of this downward sloping channel, right? This downward sloping channel right here is just indicative of a bull flag. You guys know that, just flat out that is a bull flag. It's technically indicated throughout the entirety of the psychology of the market of technical analysis. That is what it is. Those are the expectations that once you achieve this downward sloping channel after this rise up, guys, that's textbook right there. So once we achieve that and we reconfirmed off of this moment, this reconfirmation, boom, to the upside, that's when things changed. So I think their opinion may have been different after that moment. So as we watch pricing develop, understand that you may have a different opinion today than tomorrow. You need to update your technicals every day, both within the group that I see you guys doing already. I'm just kind of preaching to the choir because I spend a lot of time doing that myself. But as we look at the top here, let's look at what changed after that full measured move to the upside. We got from that bull flag from in around that 40,800 mark, and JP Morgan, they probably changed their tune. I think they have. I'm not sure what they have in terms of Jay will know. Shout out to Jay. How are you? And also, Chris also. I think you're in house with a few different places, etc. So yeah, we'll ask you guys later in the back rooms. The 56,000 that marched up to 56,000 from the 40 to 56. That gave us a nice line of expectation in terms of the slope, this rise over run. You guys, I want to cover this today in terms of this rounding. I don't want to leave it ambiguously stated. This rise over run from this move to 40,000 and around, I want to say January, into this 58,000, okay, and along the lines of February. That gave us a rise over run, an expectation, right? This next move from the 58,000, okay, up to the line of 61,000, 61,002, 61,003, etc. That gave us a different trajectory, guys. Do you see that different trajectory kind of come into focus, right? We are losing the rise over run. We're losing the market is expressing a weakness to us. The next move is even weaker. That next move up to the 64.86310, yeah, that next move is even weaker in terms of the amplitude that's expressed here. So we have this folding over at the top of the market, right? So that's very important as we look at this, guys. It's and we will deal on the other side of the spectrum on the downward to the downside. Sometimes we'll deal with kind of a curvature formation, right? We'll deal with the opposite of this wave formation. that likes to pour to the downside, that likes to bring about a move to the downside. We will experience this lowering of the slope, essentially less power and there's less go power, guys, as the bulls are charging back into the market. And what was the next one we achieved? This one right here. There you go. Now we've moved from 1, 2, 3 to the move 4, and along with this move, this third move, just understand that's when I was really discussing with people. It was really along this. And Kent Gifford, I was giving sessions to Kent, just teaching him about markets the best I could in terms of being certified in markets from Duke, etc. Not financial advice, but just educational. Like, what are the materials that we studied at Duke, etc. In terms of market function, etc. As we look at this. And they're looking at everything from GDP to the price of rice in China, guys, literally. But the next move down was this, boom. And to have expressed that to individuals before that move down, before we got to move down like this, to have expressed this, because no one could conceptualize it. No one could sit there and say, well, okay, so you've lost the trajectory here. The next move is bam to the downside, because drawing this before any of this was there, you have to understand the move from 64.86310 down, sub 30,000, guys. That's a big move. You understand that's a big move. That's a 50% retracement. That's a loss of 50% of the value of Bitcoin. So to make that move, and that diagnosis here is we're losing, the strength of Bitcoin, and it's folding over, bam, to the downside. This was a heavy line to draw, and it was a little bit much for people to receive. Although I stated it's on live stream. You guys have a recording of it, me stating this, boom, this move to the downside multiple times. You guys have that on live recording. Those of you who've been around, you're like, yes, absolutely. We covered that live in the stream before the pricing was there, before that occurred, just because we have that solid, that roundy top, that wave formation, and on the aggregate, it was expressing that on the aggregate in a way that couldn't be argued. So I do want to bring that up in the context of, and as we watch this kind of fold over, and I'll do an exercise. I like to do this exercise just to kind of reconfirm what did happen at the top, so we can understand, the loss in the power of the market. We'll apply it to where we're at right now. The first move, right? Absolutely. Now the second move. Okay. Now if we can get this right, the third move. We got it right. Then if we're in here, the fourth move. We got it right. And then the expected fifth move. Okay. Now, as I toggle on and off these specific lines, you're going to get a very good idea of the expression of the top of the coin. Okay. The top of the pricing action. Boom. Okay. Every line is a further expression of a weakness of the market. Okay. And as we look at this, it's just, we have a certain amplitude. We have a certain move in the market in terms of the expression of the price, the strength, that bull run up after the bull flag. Absolutely. The 40 to the 40 to the, I don't want to get it too complicated, but it's a 58, 40 to the 58 to the 61 to the 64.86310, right? Each of these moves is expressing less of the strength in the market to be able to charge up. That's how we determined here that yes, we were going to be moving down like that. And we'd seen it played out through so many other of your investments that we talked about, and you guys were stuck at some of the tops of them. I'm like, well, look at this. Look at this in terms of the entirety of this. You guys were asking me, like, what should I do? I'm like, I can't give you financial advice, but I've talked to a lot of you that were involved from these higher positions, and I was just like, well, the people who were doing well were some of the members, et cetera, that were just stacking heavy cash and reserves. And I just tell you, what your strategy is to stack that cash, heavy towards the downside, and those seem to be the guys that were winning, that have been around the longest. So it's nice to be able to allow you guys to communicate like that. Shout out to Josh. Hey, Josh, how are you? How has the boat been? I hope the boat has been good, Josh. We love the pictures from the boat. And let's see what we have. What do we have? Now, in terms of this, guys, understand this rollover effect, this lowering of the guys, you have to understand the lowering. I could just say the lowering of the amplitude here. The fact that the slope is curling over, it just screams boom down. Okay, so we that's recovering some old tape for you guys. You don't have to watch through the entirety of what we were kind of prognosticating. Just what the technicals indicated, like a real weakness. Now that we've moved down, guys, we've spent 60 days in this zone, right? I don't want to be oversimplistic. We've spent 60 days along this line. You guys see that line? We've literally spent 60 days along that line. That's not exciting for people unless you're day trading, having a good time, booking positive trades. And we've brought some incredible price action to you, just in terms of gate. And last night or yesterday, gate, you guys were able to get in on a 6x coin just to trade. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Carlos. You guys booked a positive trade on that. I didn't really discuss it too much ahead of time because it wasn't a new coin. It was not an initial coin offering. It was instead, it was a new listing for Gate. It was something that had a lot of negative price action that I could tell just from looking at a chart. It looked like it had gone down a lot in price. Anyone could tell that, and it was something I didn't want anyone to be frustrated if it didn't really perform extremely well. You guys still got in on it. Just make sure you guys communicate about that. I appreciate the ones who did communicate with me. We tried to put together a conference call last night. Everyone was in different directions. I know a lot of you were busy with your businesses, busy with your trades, etc. So there was some interest. I enjoyed talking to Lars, definitely. Laura, it was a pleasure to talk to you and Eric. We just started to laugh, and AJ came in. He's former Air Force, a big guy, very important. He just got back from Hawaii. So, hey, we hope you enjoyed Hawaii. Definitely, AJ, I think that you did. And he was real quiet as a mouse in the whole deal. I'm like, and AJ was listening, huh? He's former, I think he's trained, huh? My grandfather from the Air Force. He always told me, he's like, he told the family, he says, their hearing is so good in the Air Force that they can hear. I can't say that. I can't say that. Never mind. I can't say that. It's a good Air Force saying, but I'm not even sure I'm supposed to say that. Anyway, in terms of that, so I'll cut short on that. I apologize about that. I don't want to withhold any information, but I don't think I should state that. So I'm not formally affiliated with any department, agency, bureau, nor military division, domestic or abroad. I'll state that. How about that? That sounds good. So as we look at this channel, guys, the good thing is, you guys were not surprised by this move to the downside. Let's go from the daily to the hourly and talk about that wave formation again. Let's get back on target here. We can talk about this. And we essentially have we're running into, like, as you guys look at this, it's becoming indicative of like a larger. We did talk about this, yesterday in terms of this. This pattern behavior here, that we looked at this, just on the micro, right? We look on the micro in terms of this pattern dynamic here. This same rounding, okay? You have this slope here, the slope here, and then bam, that's the next move, guys. That's typically the next move as you look at this. Now, we do have this as well. Now, there may be a little bit more institutional interest in trying to prop this sucker up, right? And along the lines of this, from the dynamics of the 29, sub 30 to 29,000, right up to, the maximum here of the 36. There may be some more institutional interest in trying to prop this up for a bit. I don't know how successful they're going to be. They're in a descending triangle. That's a very difficult. They can potentially try to frustrate this for another month, 2 months. I mean, we could be sideways for a while, guys. We've been in a sideways, dynamic here in and around the $30,000 plus mark for how long? For 60, 61 days. Yeah. So in terms of that, they can try and frustrate this individual pattern. They can bounce it yet again, but it's going to be difficult, guys. It's just continually been difficult. And what's difficult is the people who are waiting for better prices, because a lot of people I've talked to have gains from the market. They've done extremely well as the markets continue to soar. The overall broader markets, the indexes are up. Everything's been phenomenally, for people who are well positioned for that and who've played aggressive in the overall broader markets, they've been doing very well, very well. So a lot of them have, they're watching Bitcoin. They're watching, what you guys are already invested in. They ask me, I'm just like, well, maybe you need to talk to the guys in VIP. Just don't talk to me, right? So, but in terms of that, they're ready. They're interested. They've got some cash. And they see the prices going down. They're like, well, how much lower do you think it'll go? I do tell them, just like I tell VIP, well, I have no, that's not my position to tell you where it's going to go. But I say, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. The last two crashes, it's gone down to, like, what has that been? The 200 weekly EMA has been very interesting. I have like a heat map on that 200 weekly EMA. It's just interesting because in terms of technicals, right? It's not, we're not into financial planning, financial advice. We're not into that. But what are we into? Like, what is the technical dynamic? What can I point to and say, the last two times it's hit this? It's like a red alert has gone off the last two times. Red alert alarm in I know in Angels, on his holdings as it hit that 200 weekly EMA, right? A heat map on that, right? Absolutely. We're gonna define on that with the last two major crashes, retracements. We've seen that 200 weekly EMA get hit like a hammer both times, and the people who hit that like a hammer, they have really, really done well, I think, in terms of the overall returns. That's been kind of a key indicator. And the nuance is that it's hit it when things have been a little bit like tenuous, and the whole market's they're thinking about it completely falling apart. So the people have had to step in like a bull at that point. You say, well, it's a bear market, people step in like a bull, and then they have at that 200 weekly EMA. And that's a that's a key indicator, guys. So yeah, you guys, we have the right group here to hear that information. I know that without a doubt. So you guys, and the ones who aren't the right people to be around to hear that, they're not here very, very long. You guys know that. So we try and protect y'all's community, and we do so with Twitter. You guys know the back rooms of Twitter. As you guys look at this, just make sure you follow us. Make sure that if you're VIP and you're plugged in, make sure you go to the Kingdom. And I'm going to type in and show you guys how to do this real quickly. Any of you VIPs, go ahead and go for a search and type in the Kingdom, TheKingdom, TheKingdom, the Kingdom. Then you're going to have to scroll down through all of these other names. Then you're going to see at the bottom it says Go to the Kingdom, right? And click on Go to the Kingdom at the bottom. This is how you do this. Okay, it's none of these other names, guys. No, we are the original. We are at the Kingdom. That's it. None of the other names. Then click on At the Kingdom. Then you'll see us, guys. Click on the follow. Click on the notifications. Definitely, you'll see former financial analyst and former U.S. presidential advisor. You'll see former private hedge fund and just private guys, just individual privatized fund, non-SEC. You'll see Bitcoin right here. You'll also see the link to Gate. Trade on Gate. That's where the new coins are coming in. That's the one that went up 600%. I think it's still up about 600% from its debut yesterday on Gate. Not sure the price you could have gotten in. I know multiple people who traded positively on that. Not anything like the original, like Delta. I believe last week at this point, Delta was one where people got up to a 6x in our group, trading very well. So not financial advice. You guys see that front and center here. So you guys go over to the Kingdom. That exclusive backdoor access is just for the VIPs. We like it that way. So in terms of that, if you guys are missing any of those trades, you guys need to understand the level of competition that you have. You cannot show up in the market and just say that you're going to expect to beat the market, guys. And in terms of the filtering that is there, just understand that it's a very competitive market. People trade full time and have for years, guys. They have traded full time for years. You know that. So it is not easy to compete with those with that group, guys. So you're showing up and you have this idea in the first month or 2 months you want to beat the market. Well, join the club that's been trying to beat the market for 10 years. Okay, and then still try and beat the market. Yeah, well, I'm with the right group. I should be beating it, guys. It's competitive, guys. It's a competitive market. So, in terms of even pattern designation, there are tricks to the trade. There are different things that go on. It's not. I don't want to say it's like a good old boy club, etc. But it's just not. It's not easy to beat competitors, guys. It's like showing up and saying, "I'm going to win the NBA Finals." Okay, that's perfect. You want to win the NBA Finals? We want you to. We want you to win We want you to win the next LeBron James trophy. And you say, "Well, it doesn't take that." Well, how many people that are really up in crypto? We know quite a few that are in this room. They've been at it for a while. Angel's been around Bitcoin since $7.50 thereabouts. So it takes that level of dedication. Well, people who made money this year, good. A lot of them are here. A lot of them are in VIP. We just encourage you is what we do. We don't make it light of the fact if anyone's missing out on a trade. We just reinforce the fact that if you're trying to book positive trades, I talked to Jag last night. Jag is having consistent $1,000 weeks. He's a VIP member, and I think he's into real estate. He loves real estate. He's done very well in real estate, and he's doing well in trading. And it's nice to hear that from Jag, from all of you that are doing well. And it takes time as you look at this, guys. It just takes time. So give yourself that time. I like to see people playing around, trading with about a cup of coffee, right? That's nice, huh? Trading with about a cup of coffee, learning to book positive trades. If you can't book, I'd say if you can't book, and look at this, Josh ringing through. Love this. He's saying, London, you're building a $99 super chat. I love this. This is the second one he's done. He's a $200 level supporter. I know that by heart, brother. I appreciate that so much. Josh saying, you're building something beautiful with the Kingdom. Keep up the good work. Cheers to you and the Kingdom VIP. I love that. Big old guns on that, brother. Josh, way to ring that in, brother. That is so nice to see that. And yeah, we're building the right group, and we're so excited that you're a part of it. Absolutely, Josh. Way to hammer home. And you guys look at Josh. I'm really excited about him bringing up the fact he's doing well, because he is doing well. And he's got a lot of businesses going on. He's an entrepreneur. And as you guys look to a business leader in the back, we have a lot of them. Almost everyone's a strong business leader, that is stepping up to the plate like this. And Josh is definitely one to pay attention to. He's got a great business sense about him. Every time I see, I enjoy seeing what Josh is involved in. And you see the shout out from Andrew. Josh is just, it hammers home with Andrew that you're doing well. And we'd like to see that you're doing well. It's important for us. And there's Andrew Angel also. You guys are building camaraderie at the top, and we'd love to see that. They understand what that means in terms of that. So Josh, welcome to that. As you guys continue to express that you're doing well in crypto and well in business, etc. That's what we'd like to see, is just powering that home and just ringing that true. And Big Jess, what's up, brother? We're excited about that every time it happens, because that's an indication of the level of respect for Andrew and what do we see? What do you see? Josh added 4 more Ethereum over the weekend, waiting for $1,700 targets now. Good. And Josh is adding 4,000 Ethereum. Let's go ahead and look at Ethereum, guys, because we love this. This is the VIP in action, guys. This is nice to see. From the all-time high, what do we have at about 4,000, and about the peak of about 4,391. Josh adding 4 Ethereum and around the price tag of about 1,800. So very nicely done. The thing about Josh is I know he's ready to double and triple down his exposure at this level at the lower levels. If indeed, I'm going to say if indeed you can get down to those levels, Josh is ready to pull the trigger like he just did, and to essentially, guys, to hammer home. Not a bad entry, Josh. Not a bad entry. I'm going to go ahead and look at that RSI for you. I want to see where that RSI is on the daily. I want to see on the daily where you're at on that RSI. You've been a little lower beforehand, haven't you? In the past, I always start off and look at a kind of just a historical approach to this. When were you lower? Let's see, when were you lower? Well, you were lower at a key feature back here in March of last year. You know that. You've done the RSI analytics on this. We'll just do them for you right now, just to make sure that you're fully well aware of where you're at. We love to see that RSI below 30 on the daily. On the daily, we'd love to see that. And shout out to Josh. We really love that. Picking up 4 Ethereum, so about a little under an $8,000 investment. Very nice. That's going to be 437, about 7,000 plus in terms of an investment that he just made into Ethereum. Nicely done. Nice move with the ability, and I'm sure ability to double and triple down. As you look at this, you'll see Ethereum's not a whole lot different than Bitcoin. We have this huge upswing in price, and a lot of people definitely believing in the technological, the fundamentals of Ethereum. 1,240% over 295%, outperforming Bitcoin, very nicely outperforming Bitcoin in terms of the volatility of it. Huge to the upside. A lot of people are very interested in accumulating Ethereum as the price were to dip down. It's a beautiful move, Josh. I have to say, it's a beautiful move. Very, very nicely done, with the ability to never be overexposed at the higher prices that I know you talk about all the time. Ability to double and triple down at these lower levels. Now, what Josh is kind of on the precipice of, and Josh, it's very interesting in terms of your move, because you're right in line almost with this golden pocket move. Okay, and that golden pocket is coming up. I'm going to say the ballpark is coming up at around that $1,597. If you can hit that, that's a 61.8. The next target down would be the 65th percentile on the daily chart. These calculations, I believe them to be exactly correct, guys. Is going to be on the line chart, is going to be the 1,463 and 48 cents. Thereabouts, the 1,463, just to cover those price targets for you, Josh. And I will go to a different dynamic here, and if it will let me just switch this over, we do have why don't I just give you a heat map here? If you want a heat map, bottom line, and we'll give you the differentials. We'll send you definitely a chart on this. The 200-week heat map on Ethereum is going to be that 200-week heat map. And guys, we can go back in the past and see how this has been trailed upon and under and over, but that 200-week heat map is very, very crucial in terms of it has dipped below that 200-week heat map in the past, and that's a real key feature of that, Josh, as you just entered into a position with 4 new Ethereum at about 1,800. A beautiful move. I know you're ready to double down in and below that 200. Okay, and below that 200-week EMA, and that's going to be a key feature as you look forward to doubling, tripling down into that. That's just, and I know he and Angel and Andrew are right now. Be Hyatt, I think you. Let's see what you got in terms of that move as well. And just digging into this, that 200-week EMA is just critical right now. I want you guys to focus, on the technicals and the fact that, Josh, as you look at that, do understand if it gets rough down there, it's gotten rough on that 200-week EMA before. You have gone down below that 200-week EMA, and I'm going to say you had a strong indication. Believe it or not, you went previously 60% below that EMA on a previous round of retracement. retracement. That'll be a gut check for anybody, guys. Always having the ability to double and triple down at those lower levels, guys, or to cut and quit, depending upon how you want to play that. But Josh has positioned himself now for an upside, and that's nice. I know he is a successful he's very successful in his business ventures. He's got the cash to double and triple down at those lower levels, and he's playing the upside potential of Ethereum right now. I do like, Josh, as we talk about this, I'm not sure that you have covered this, but since you chimed in with the $100 super chat, and I'll say on the tail end of, and shout out Angel, the $500 super chat, you are the quintessential VIP, period. We love you, brother, and I'll update the 8,850 top supporter line. I'll update that to add on another 500 to that. That's just it's beautiful every time we get to do that. I love people seeing how you're supporting them, and as you're standing out as a leader. And Josh, that's your second round of that. I think Andrew also today. I know Andrew chimed in with another $100 super chat, and I think that brings you to about 1,000. You've reached that 1K mark, Andrew. So collectively, you guys are seeing the leaders, and I like the community, the VIPs, to be able, whether or not they're here or they'll watch this on kind of a rewind. And a lot of them spend a lot of time watching this on rewind. You guys know that we have hundreds that overall will watch that in the VIP. And it's a very exclusive community. So in terms of this, one thing that you'll look for, Josh, in terms of this bottom formation here, just look for this. What was this? Essentially, it's a real frustrating, but we have this. The notion after it broke underneath this 200-day exponential moving average, we have something which could try and define itself as, and it definitely expressed the breakout potential, this ascending triangle here, this ascending line of support, okay, and a flat line of resistance was respected within this. And guys, we trade these all the time. They are so effective to trade. That's where you got into and out of this operation underneath the 200-week EMA, exponential moving average, and essentially, I think you hit that target on the top side. Josh, as you look, I know you're very busy. You may not have all the time in the world to go through and look at that expression fully. Just beautiful move to the upside. That is your target. That's the take loose. That's the cut loose right there. That's a very nice move there in the within the prior retracement on Ethereum. So, Josh, I look forward to seeing how I know you're trading, you're booking positive trades, but I know you have a lot of business going on. I think medical cannabis, actually, you're involved in medical cannabis right now. Hugely very well respected industry right now, and I'll make no bones about that. A very well respected industry and a lot of different states. You guys always conform. I would just recommend you talk to an attorney, et cetera, or your local regulatory board. But that's burgeoning within the United States and the broader market. It has seen a lot of growth. So we're excited to know and be updated on your business ventures. Josh, thank you for updating us on those and your culinary. You just got a lot of hats in the ring, and it's nice to see that. A lot of the patterning that we'll see on Bitcoin will express itself also within Ethereum. We can do a deep dive into that any day you'd like to, Josh, and I appreciate your continued support of the community. You letting us know that people can look to you for some business guidance, and a lot of people have entrepreneurial. I don't need to be the guide on everything at all, guys. I'm the facilitator amongst you, and as you step up into those roles, it's just nice. It's nice to see people who have ambitions for entrepreneurship or have, if that's your key. I'd say focal point, Josh. In addition to crypto, you've done very well in crypto. And just the pattern that I see, the strategy you're deploying in terms of picking up those 4 Ethereum today, beautiful move. In terms of also just I hit that heat map and the level below, and believe it or not, and you can measure that. You don't need to. I'll give you the exact the precise nature of that right now. But in the midst of the prior retracement, and it was a little difficult because it looked like we were getting up out of that previous retracement, and around that 2020 that dive down did get you below that 200 EMA. It did get you, and let's just measure that one more time for the record, because I want you to understand that was a gut check, guys. As we look down into the 50, right in the line, I'm going to say 55% below that. If you see, that was that was at the $200 mark, $243 to be precise, below. That was when you were on that 200 EMA. And Josh just powering through again. We love that, dude. We love that. And what's the message now? And another $100 super chat. Just letting. I'm gonna tell you before I read it. He's letting you guys know also that he is available for you guys to interact with in the VIP and the backroom chats. If you guys are interested in developing your business potential, everything else in terms of your entrepreneurship, your kind of stewardship towards your skills that you have. This Josh just rocking with another $100 super chat, just defining himself as a leader along with Andrew and Angel and And I love the fact that the community comes together like this when you guys do that. And now I want to read what he stated, because that's my interpretation of it, because I know Josh is stepping forward in terms of reinforcing that, and also the diagnostics here. Just, Josh is ready to go below that 200 week EMA. He is ready for that, guys. Are you? He has established a position right now in terms of the maturity that it requires. He's established a position with 4 Ethereum today, right? And I'll review that. Let me make sure that I'm spot on with that. I don't want to misrepresent that at all. As we look at this, what do we have? I'm going to say the multiple Ethereum right now was at about an $8,000 acquisition, so that'd be about 4. Excuse me. So in line with that, he's prepared to go 50% below this 200-week EMA. His strategy is that mature in terms of the market, his market operations. Like that's the maturity, guys. For him to pick up a position, understand he's still playing relatively light, heavy enough to where he can feel a move to the upside and have some exposure in Ethereum, which he definitely believes in a lot. I mean, you're not going to find someone who doesn't believe in the potential of crypto in this space. In terms of that, though, he's ready to go 50% below the 200-week EMA, which is currently, guys, at $589. He's literally ready to go that far below that level right now. And guys, do you want to know the level he's willing to go to and double down into? Unbelievable, guys. Josh is prepared right now in terms of peppering in at the top potentially, but having some upside exposure. He's ready to go to $265 on Ethereum with his move today and his entry into the market. That is strong. That is a strong move in terms of, because you'll say, well, of course, everyone thinks Ethereum's going to go up, and I'm going to mark that level for you. That level down below. That is, you see the level of how strong of a move that is. Given the prior indications of where you were in 2020, the levels that you went down to, Josh entered into it with about $8,000 peppered in today, enough to experience an upside potential. Let's read this. Josh says, when you surround yourself with positive people, positive things happen in life. Absolutely, and that's why we do have that level of diligence in terms of making sure that the people around you are of your caliber, right? That they're worthy of your attention, etc. And that it's a huge expression from Josh. What a leader, huh? When you surround yourself with positive people, positive things happen in life. And how much more positive can you be in terms of supporting us? And you're supporting the community. You're standing out, and that's your message to the VIP. As it's and reinforcing that between you and Angel and Andrew, just that dynamic as you guys get to know each other. That's just hugely impressive. I just really appreciate seeing that, and I love seeing that you're willing to go and deep dive down into. And I'm just going to say, you guys understand the heat map can change a bit. Okay, it can change a bit. It's probably going to be higher if and when it is that chord is struck. But as we look at that, the dynamic, and I just want to get the razor's edge out on this, the razor's edge out for Josh on this. If we were to achieve the 55% drop down, you're looking at, and I'm just going to mark this right now. This is as close. I'll get the real razor's edge when I don't have the lights in camera on. But Josh, call that at 263. Call that at $263 is a bottom line indication from a previous drop, a hard hammer. That was a hard hammer that hit in 2020. Well, the hammer that hard hit, I'm not gonna become a fortune teller. I'm just gonna tell you technically, if that were to repeat, sometimes things do, $263. Okay, so we talk about being able to, it's interesting because I talk about people. It's very interesting. A lot of people are on a kind of a 10% rule right now. I discuss a lot of people with $1 million. Oftentimes they're involved in investing at a level where someone with $1 million position, they may be investing with $10,000 or $100,000. They may have a 10% exposure. Josh is kind of demonstrating that to a functional level here. Not that we would want to derive at what level he's overall operating in the market, but people with $1 million position, sometimes they'll trade with $20,000 or $30,000. You guys know that they will. They'll trade with $20,000 or $30,000. People with $20,000 or $30,000 sometimes will trade with $15,000 or $20,000. Right, and you'll see that overexposure and that desire to grow things. Josh understands a good investment can take a 10% influx of capital. Yeah, that 10% can make the other 90%. On a great investment, that's the idea. The 10% can make the other 90%. You don't have to put in the full-fledged 100%. So huge lesson today from Josh. I want to resound the message he says. When you surround yourself with positive people, positive things happen in life. And That's what we've got going on, and it's just the right group of people. I'm really excited to have you here, Josh, and that's just exciting to have you. Excuse me. There in terms of the overall trend, you know that is it, we are in a downtrend with Ethereum. You know the technicals well enough. We went through the RSI. I'm just excited about that. $263. It's on the map. That's all you need to know is the geolocate on the $263. It's expressed with the prior retracement period. From there on, you've got the business sense and the details to cover it. But that $263 is an interesting point down there, isn't it? And you're like, well, I would really want to pick some up at $263 if we could repeat a pricing cycle like this. You bet it, brother. You bet it. You're looking at that 10, 20x, right? You got it right, or more. How if we can power back through the next time even stronger from where we're at, et cetera. We look at that 10, 20x, and that's where the zeros start really adding up. So in terms of Bitcoin versus Ethereum, we mix the two, right? We don't need to compete between them, right? If you want to compete between which one is your favorite, why don't you do like a mixed pairing? Why don't you do a even like say an ETH BTC purchase? Why don't you look at that chart? Why don't you look some people like Binance Coin, some people like Bitcoin. Why don't you do a BNB BTC chart? Why don't you look at the strength on that? It's a very strong chart. That I'm going to say very strong right now. It's held up well thus far. It could be in for a retracement. The BNB, as we look at the pattern formation. Has it been a while since we looked at that? We can look at that later. But just strong move by Josh. Just loving the fact that he's plugged in today. He's like, he's probably been having fun on the boat, etc. And we just love that fact, brother. You're just awesome, brother. You're VIP, huh? He just is, and he doesn't have to hide it. No reason to hide it. We love that. It dips that low. I'll be sinking some ridiculous money. You got it right. It will become ridiculous. We've gone to the ridiculous level of absolutely. And a lot of people are ready for the ridiculous if it gets there. And that's what I love about VIP. It's like trust that, believe that. Josh is talking about, there will be a ridiculous amount of money invested at that level. It's so nice to be around people who just understand the dynamics involved. It's like, some people are putting a ridiculous amount of money into it right now. They're on the wrong channel. I'm gonna tell you, they're off on. They're on. Because the trend is down. I'm just gonna tell you. It's like we can catch an uptrend. We can catch a bull flag into another bull flag and really power into something once the technicals are absolutely. Once the technicals are there, hey, no one's going to have a hard time playing a bull market the way a bull market needs to be played. But while we're in this flux, while we're in this flux, it's not the time to overexpose yourself. I see people that are buying in now who haven't really considered. They've made the decision for themselves that this is the bottom. It's going to go up. The people who buy in now, very few of them are prepared to go lower at multiples. The ones that are prepared to go in at multiples lower, those are the guys who are going to do well. And in my opinion, based upon the empirical analytics that I've done on the previous retracements, and you guys know I'm a former financial analyst. Like I was paid heftily to work across the table from Harvard on financial matters. Paid heftily in the past to work in terms of directly with board of directors, president, CEO, etc. of major corporations. So in terms of the technical analytics, like I've been paid to be very precise in terms of the finances in the past, and it's been a pleasure for me to work in those capacities. Also in consulting, worldwide consulting, etc., directly responsible to the partners, chief partners of the largest consulting firm in the world. So that's the level of diligence I bring to the table. Sometimes I get a little tired. Sometimes if I burn the candle at both ends, and it'll usually catch me. It's funny. It'll catch me if I'm just not used to doing that. If I burn the candle at both ends for long enough, it's no problem. It's like it's when I take I take a nap. It's like I say take a nap. It's like no, it's when I get a good night's sleep. For me, that's like when I take a nap. You understand how hard I work a lot of times. I just love doing that. A lot of you guys do too. You run at it pretty hard. So it's just kind of funny. It's like I find myself when I take a break, that's when the problems really arise. That's when I lose my mental clarity. So, and it's just true. Sometimes, a lot of times we focus real hard on working real hard. And it's just, you guys, there's no one in this room that doesn't understand hard work. I'll tell you that much. So that's a nice dynamic to understand. As we look at this, there's a few different angulations that can go on right now. I don't want to be too exploratory while we're live. I don't want to necessarily work into that, but I do want to. I have some expressions that are kind of low right now. Some of these expressions are a little bit they're a little bit low. I would say in terms of the target prices we just talked about, $300 some odd dollars for Ethereum. And definitely just from the heart, brother. Thank you, Josh. And the more you're able to step up into the community, I look forward to what you're willing to deliver to the community here. And I know you have a lot going on, but it's like Andrew and definitely like Angel Power. in the house. You guys have to understand that. It's in the back room of the back room of the back room. It's angel power. You guys understand that? Everybody knows that, huh? Like $7.50 Bitcoin. Okay, yeah, angel power. Like that's it. Like it's just he and I. But I feel this way. We just, there's a reason we're together. There's a reason that Josh is here. There's a reason that Andrew's here. There's a reason all of you are here. When I talked to Josh, I talked to Andrew, I talked to Lars, Jag, this and that. Like we're just, yeah, we're here. But thank goodness, it's like we've been here, right? You understand that too? It's like, yeah, and not that we, some weird esoteric, we've been here before, and people get frustrated. We're not handling technical analysis, right? That's all we do all day is technical analysis. So, in terms of that, we're very solidly plugged into the community of each other, and it just feels like we've been here a long time. And we don't have a Discord at all. We have a level of membership, the VIP membership, and we have, that's our key level, the top level. $99 a month is a throwaway in terms of the price and the value that it presents. I was going to state that not financial advice. You won't find any of that. You'll just find the best guys in crypto, trading crypto, and investing in crypto, and people who've done better than anybody else that I know of. Literally better than anyone else I know of. So that's a shout out to and held better positions and better firms and with better businesses, etc. Just I see that dynamic playing out very well. Like very, very well, that I can legitimately, honestly, truthfully say that about the group. And it's for that, but it's also for the blue collar to the white collar. I spoke with Daryl for a minute on the phone. Daryl, sorry about the cutoff. That was not intentional. I was trying to take another call, and I think I something cut off, but. We have, technicians. We have mechanical technicians. We have scientists. We have all kinds of people, scientific positions, et cetera, that are learning to trade. It's a big deal, right? It is a big deal, and that's just the way that has expressed itself. We have some highly technical people that are very interested in doing well in trading. We have some business types that are not going to let this profit potential do harm to anybody. In terms of showing up with something that's quote unquote pumping hard, you need to pay attention to the group you're talking to, because we definitely will remove you. We will remove your comments at first, and we will remove you permanently if you come in trying to tell us about something that's pumping hard, kid. I'll just tell you, we pump hard 4x, 5x, 10x when we want to, and we'll just clarify that, brother. Or Kent, like the name, that's my cousin's name, so maybe there's some potential in you, but not if you show up to a place and just want us to know about something that's quote unquote pumping hard. You need to pay attention to who you're talking to, because this group will 3x, 5x, 10x at the flip of a hat, kid. Flip of a coin, they'll do it. So in terms of that, Andrew, what do we got going on there? Not sure what Andrew is up to. Andrew's kind of the I don't know. Yeah, I get him. I don't know what you want to do in terms of that. Maybe I'll give you a wrench. Why don't you join? If you want to join, I'm going to delete one more time. If you want to join this group, you join this group. You know who we are, and we're about to not know who you are. So we would welcome you to join. If you're a member and you lost your badge, we look at that as something that needs to be fixed up for the well-being of the community and the levels of respect for the community. It's just it's a hard-nosed group. We put our nose to the grindstone in our business, in our relationships, everything. And I respect the group like that continually. So there's zero. YouTube allows it, and we insist upon it. That's the way we are. We appreciate that about the group. They know I enforce it like that, and they step up to the plate, and they're willing to do good do good every day. We love that. How's everybody on Doge? Huh? Well, the Doge light's dimming. And that's when it starts getting exciting. You guys know we have our targets like that big time on Doge. We have that scaled in approach very heavily with multiple lower levels of scaled in approach on Doge. We like that 10x, 100x. We like that 10x, 100x, repeat kind of cyclical tendency that Dogecoin has. And it's a very popularized coin, and we've had fun with it. It's a meme. It's fun. It's a little bit different. It's also an attitude. Do only good every day. We can do that, right? I mean, whether or not you need to disown that idea with Doge. I tell you, Anonymous came out with a coin. You guys know this? Anonymous, the group that's hacked people, etc. All I can say is, I don't own any, and I don't know, what that is. But in terms of the idealistic kind of the Wall Street bets, I started to kind of shy away from Wall Street bets. I was kind of like, that's where I came up with maybe you want to buy it a cup of coffee. Maybe you want to buy a cup of coffee. On the Wall Street Bets coin. I'm like, well, maybe, and I'm like, with anything else, if it has solid fundamentals in terms of the operation of the coin, I'm looking at it. If it has a group dynamic that's positive, like doing good every day, hey, there's no harm in that. And that's just, but if people want to interfere or, denounce things with, I'm a big fan of Elon. That's it. We put the shades on first day. What did Elon do? Yeah, what's up? Elon is switched over the whole entirety of his deal. Right? He just did. Yeah, we put those shades on. And what did Elon do? You guys check this out. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? That's where the stogie, huh? That's where the stogie. What did Elon do, huh? He decided, huh? We put on with the shades, and they'd be like, what is London doing with the shades on, huh? What happened, huh? I don't know what happened, huh? You guys know what happened? I don't know. I have no idea. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's lighter. Mm-hmm. 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 There you go. Nice burn to it, huh? Look at that. You see the globe? Look at this, guys. I want to see if you guys can see this. It's very interesting. Do you see the world that he has there on top? Yeah. Look at what we put on ours, just so you know. See the right and left of your screen? Do you see the world's turning like that? It's almost like the top of his deal, right? Isn't that interesting? You guys see that now on the right and left of your screen? Do you see that? You see the world just... Yeah, and you see we went live with the shades, and then he decides to front up with the what's up. Love that, huh? Love that. Nice, nice, nice. And so you also see the similar. You see the top of his deal, and the world's turning. Yeah, it's nice, huh? Nice touch, huh? Nice. There's a few different little idiosyncratic touches that you might notice along the way. You might not. But, to the extent I might point them out, you might be like, what else is there? Absolutely. So, you guys know we are big fans of Elon. I love the way he tested out the market on top. Why? Because that let us know it was the top. One of the reasons it did let us know it was the top. Why would you say that? Well, it was a really nice full expression of the top line of the channel. Huh? Huh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Ah. A full expression of the top line of the channel. Oh, we haven't talked about that in a while. Oh, back when I was calling the top of Bitcoin. Oh, okay. His big dump of Bitcoin to quote-unquote test the liquidity. Oh, we haven't talked about that in a while. I'm going to bring it up because I just mentioned him as his team. Quote-unquote testing the liquidity of the market. Into what? Into the top line of the channel. What channel? Into the top line of the Fibonacci. From the top line of the line chart down to the 23.6. You got that? Into the top line of the 23.6. Boom, boom. Right? And, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. We have, is this 23.6 the expression of the top line of the channel? I'm saying the channel being the channel from a zero retracement on the line chart down to a 23.6% retracement on the line chart. That was a quote-unquote test of liquidity. You guys know that this full expression of the 23.6 is an indication that you're at the top of the price action. We haven't covered that in a while. We haven't. You guys get that, what Elon did for us? Copy that. Big deal, guys. You see this move at the top of Bitcoin? He tested liquidity, quote unquote, correct. What did that do? Guys, beautiful. Well, he did that. Well, the technicals did it. Technicals were already there. You realize how sophisticated of a group he has in terms of trading? Do you realize that? Hello? Do you understand how sophisticated of a group he has? He has in terms of trading. You realize how sophisticated you are to be able to understand the expression of what he put into play at the top? The full expression of the quote-unquote channel. We were covering Fibonacci's the entirety of the time. The full expression of the channel is the completion while we're covering Fibonacci's, the full price movement down to this move, the 23.6% retracement. The full expression of the channel, guys, indicated that this was the top of Bitcoin. Beautiful, dynamic, amazing to see Elon in action. Period. Tesla, analytical groups, beautifully well done. I'm wonderfully impressed continually by how well plugged they are, because I don't see any other investment groups or any other board of directors, anyone else that is that harmonically beautifully plugged into the price action at all. Your level, the level of this group, etc., is phenomenal, guys. You guys in VIP, you guys that are plugged in on those levels of corporate, etc., you guys are beautiful. You're a beautiful touch to this market. I honestly mean that. I don't say that frequently, but that's the truth. Beautiful touch to the market. Something with a beautiful level of volatility. Price action is gorgeous. The moves are phenomenal. Literally within the context of the anticipation of the social framework of it, of the anticipation of the profits of it's beautifully laid out. You guys appreciate that? It's beautifully laid out. Andrew's saying the more we learn TA, the more obvious it seems, but knowing that is not simple, and I commend everyone in VIP for your efforts to beat the market. Copy that. It's a push, and this is what's beautiful about it. It's a push for us to be in it. People have recognized our degree of push into the market. We have been there for hours. You guys know that. For hours and hours, and days, and weeks and weeks, and months, huh? Yeah. That's going there. We're going with it. We're taking it there. We got to cut it. The same dynamics in play, this and that, you see from the best well-structured team that I see is Elon and his crew with Bitcoin, Dogecoin, etc., and Dogecoin, guys. Huge surprises. Teaching people how to trade, teaching us when to hold, when to push, when to pull, when to slam through. When are we at the speed bag in the smaller levels? When are we at, the big slugging bag? Boom, boom, bam, right? Very, very interesting, huh? When you look at the overall dynamics, though, of what this creates, right now you're creating an entire new group of investors with different ideologies, with different, gameplay. The whole social framework of it, along with the who's included, who's not included. How is the group dynamic of crypto changing? What is the it's just that I'm very interested personally in the socialization of it. Okay, the profit to me is a foregone conclusion. I think it is also to other people who see the volatility of it and can express that and enjoy that. Right, the fact that not that it's a foregone conclusion, but that it's just there. The profitability of it is there. Right, it's the social dynamics. It's the ability of the group of Tesla for us to have a VIP group, for that to siphon through, for that to consolidate, for you guys to become leaders, for from the shades, to the unknown. Beautiful, huh? From the shades, like this and that, Elon, to the shade, whatever, but to the unknown. The level of intelligence is phenomenal. The market intelligence is phenomenal. The interplay between the psychology of the market, the operation of the technicals, to the decisions that are made by the leaders in the industry at the tune of multiple billions and billions of dollars. From your players like JP Morgan, and we have them, et cetera, scattered throughout BlackRock, through the political dynamics, the geopolitical, to cross framework, and through kind of financial struggles and kind of betterment of life. It's really nice, and I won't go on a diatribe, but it's just nice, and I appreciate that so much from the upper tiers of operation in this market, in every market, and particularly in this market. It's one of the reasons I'm in crypto. It just is. I could be in stocks. I appreciate the boardroom. I've been in them. Yeah, I appreciate the $1 billion equity funds, and I appreciate all that stuff. It's very interesting to me. When I was 22 years old, out of Duke in 3 years, I did a $1 billion equity fund. I was the lead analyst on a $1 billion equity fund. It's interesting as I put things in context. So when Elon makes an investment of like 1.5 billion, and Tesla makes an investment of $1.5 billion or whatnot into more this, that in the back, however they hedge their groups, their trade tables, I know the types of guys that run their trade tables, this and that from, we say they run the options division of the largest Saudi Arabian oil company. So that is this. It's rice, it's steel. It's, ultimately what it is. Now, shout out to Angel. It's the mindset you get to that you appreciate. Listen to this. Is we're going to go to Russia and rip up railway tracks. We're going to rip up the railway tracks. We're going to put them on boats. We're going to ship them into the United States. We're going to unload them, ship them to Arkansas. We're going to melt them down and turn them into bed rails for distribution and sale in the United States. It's the mindset of making a deal to go to Russia to rip up antiquated and old unused railroad tracks, to facilitate them, ship, transport into the United States, unload the railroad tracks from Russia, make their way up to Arkansas, melt them down, turn them into bed rails, and offer them for distribution and sale in the United States of America. Ripping up railroad tracks, shipping in through the United States, up and through to Arkansas to melt them down, to form them into bed rails, to offer them for wholesale redistribution and sale in the United States of America. Okay. That's the dynamic in play for me outside the box with everything I see in terms of a tweet. In terms of a investment in, you guys just understand, I've sat at the docks while they're unloading the bed rails on the way to Arkansas. All right? Okay, so that type of international endeavor, that type of operational, market endeavor has been exciting to me for years. As I look at that, it's just been exciting to me for years. I thrive on that. I have since I was, this tall. So in terms of crypto, seeing the possibilities of crypto or seeing the possibilities of equities now in the market while it's high or slow, guys, I've been phenomenally fascinated by that since high school. I've sat on the docks with the Russian rails coming in, literal Russian railroads, been ripped up and sent through the waters here to be melted down into bed frames, reformed into bed frames in Arkansas for sale. So in terms of there beyond that we can put together as a team, it doesn't have to be that abstract, but that's one of the most concrete things that you can look at. Arbitrage, business dynamics, the integration of the social to the constructed, technological, and really the intelligence interplay. Like, guys, there's a lot of intelligence at work. Business intelligence, market intelligence, social intelligence in the framework of VIP, etc. There's a lot of intelligence in play. You guys are highly intelligent. You're very good at business. Some of you have, I don't mean to scout out your skills. But I see them maybe more than you do. Because I've sat on the docks and I've seen those Russian railroads be pulled up and be sent over here with the dynamic that those need to be turned into bed frame rails in Arkansas after they're melted down. And, so I see, the railroad tracks, and I see the bed rails, and I see the Russia and the Arkansas, and I see the modes of transportation. I see the beginning to the end of the different dynamics and the achievable profit for the group in different ways that we can't necessarily always express to each other, etc., or the overall, play of, gate. We have gate, okay. I try and see that like the Russian railroads to the bed rails. I try and see the interaction of Elon, even potentially with the group, etc., with, however, the dynamics from an intelligence standpoint. Okay, I see that from the Russian railroad to the bed rails. I see that to the it's that form of dynamic global multi-frame dynamic in terms of the expression of potential and the actualization of an efficiency in the market. Okay, cross markets. Okay, that's a big deal to me. The efficiency, where do things really belong? And when you see a rocket landing like this, etc., when you see like the progressions in society, and you see things like this, you just need to know that things are very well structured in terms of intelligence, right? They have to be, guys. They have to be, right? And I like that. I work very hard at intelligence. You guys know that. Very hard. I think hopefully harder than anyone you've met. And maybe other than when you look in the mirror. Maybe when you look in the mirror, right? I'll take that one. If you guys try and work hard as I do. He? Mm-hmm. Hats off. Hello? You're going to work 80-hour week, 100-hour week. You're going to work the whole week. You're going to get it done, right? What do we got? Angel, the more I listen, the harder I try for you guys. London, Andrew, and everyone else. Hey, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you guys are all number ones. I know you're number ones or something, because I can tell you a story about when I was the first to finish an exam test grade through, I'm not with the government or anything else, but it was a test fashioned up by whoever with the government, top intel or anything else. I was the first one in the world to finish it. I can tell you that. You guys know it's the truth, right? But I don't have to tell you that. You guys know that you're number one in the market where you're in. You know you work just as hard to be number one on the corner, on the block, in the town, in the nation, in the world, right? Every day you do. That's what we do every day in terms of technicals, in terms of inspiration. That's how we that's how we got this group together. And it's in the trenches here, in the trenches in this stuff. And you all learn, and you all fail, and you all pick up, and you shake off, and you get that off me every day. Yeah, that don't belong to me. I'll tell you, whatever that was, it don't belong to me at all. You pick up after a bad trade, and bam, we're on. I don't care. Bam, we're on. Back to the fundamentals, back to the strategy. Every single time. That doesn't belong on me, huh? Yeah, bad trade, that belonged to me. I don't know who that belonged to. Would I pick up on that, or well, that's part of the game? We lower probability. We learn from that as a group. We move forward. Individual or collective failure, we try to not to have either one, right? But when that happens on the individual or the collective, what do? Man, that don't belong on me. I'll tell you that, huh? Just another rocket, huh? Just another rocket. There you go. Just another rocket. I guess we got another trial next week, huh? Hey, group dynamic. Just another rocket. Yeah, they're bound to do that every now and then, aren't they, huh? We'll get these suckers up with we'll get it right, huh? Yeah, bad trade. Well, that group had a bad trade. Well, it's bound to happen now. We've been trying to launch these things. A little bit of understanding, right? Definitely in a competitive marketplace, trying to learn everything we can at all times. Fully mastering the market. The essence, the personal understanding of we're willing to give here to relax here. We're willing to go a little strong extra here because, we kind of like to, I like to hit the bag sometimes. I got to know I go home. My knuckles are all bruised up. Sometimes a little bloody on here. I hit the speed bag a little bit too hard. That's the way I am. That's just the way I am. That's my attitude, right? I'll lay into it a little bit of heavy, I may knock the I may, and I think I have, I knocked the punching bag off the rafters in the garage, cracked the rafters, a wooden rafter. Well, yeah, but I like looking up at those rafters too and be like, yeah, we have to replace those, huh? Yeah, how's the punching bag? It's still good, huh? So as we look at those things, you guys may have different dynamics in terms of what your level of success is. Yeah, but we broke the rafter. Well, how's the punching bag? It's still good, in terms of Bitcoin, et cetera. But true story, big punching bag, big rafters, huh? But you guys have stories like that. Your own style defines you. Your own tolerance for it don't belong to me. Bad trade, this and that don't belong to me. We get up, right? So it's nice to know you guys. Josh, thank you for for your level of support. Thank you for chiming in like that. And you say the more you hang around positive people, the more you surround yourself with positive people. Excuse me. Positive things happen in life. I hope that's a hats off to you reconfirming to continue to support this group. All right? Because I'm not always that positive. I'm not always that in depth. Huh? You continue to step it up. You see how things change. Yeah? Maybe. Continue. Yeah? You guys continue. Andrew, you continue. Everything. You guys inspire me. I'll continue. I'll step it up. I got a big meeting tomorrow with, I got to get some rest, get up early, this and that, hitting top corporate attorney on the planet, guys. Right? On the planet? On the planet. Right? I'll make that happen. I appreciate, Andrew, you stepping up last night. That motivated me to get that done, okay, this morning, to set up, to talk and this and that, and good things happen. Surround yourself with positive people. When you guys are positive like that, it drives me to drive things, to get things done. Angel, every time you show up with your gloves on, brother, you saw the Muhammad Ali? I'm going to show this. You saw that? I hope Elon and his team see this. Love the Doge on the inside. What do you see in the reflection? That's funny. It's funny, huh? What do you see in the reflection, huh? It's funny, huh? Us too, huh? It's funny. We traded the heck out of that, didn't we? Ooh. And we're ready too, huh? We're ready, huh? Interesting. You guys see this? You see this? In terms of Bitcoin, me saying Bitcoin, come on with it. Come on with it, huh? Look at that. Come on with it, huh? You want to try and hit me? You want to try and juke me? Come on with it, huh? Muhammad Ali shaking off everything, huh? Come on with it. What you got, huh? Little shake action, huh? Yeah. Little attitude. That don't belong on me, huh? You trying to beat me? You trying to? That don't belong on me. Come on, jig with it a little bit. What you got, huh? Huh? This, huh? Bitcoin? Yeah, what you got, huh? What you got? It's good, huh? What you got, huh? We talk about Elon and everything else. What you got? Josh gets in with a position in Ethereum. Yeah. Okay, what you got? Where's the juke? Where's the fake? Where's the hit? Where's the what you got? Right when we get all, it's good to talk for us now, huh? Right when you get all, huh? Yeah, we all know where you're going. Well, we know all the technicals. Yeah, what you got? Josh, he enter in pretty hard, huh? Yeah, hard enough. He's going to start looking at it, huh? You guys ready, huh? Counter punch? You ready for it? We bob and weave on the ropes. We this and that. We dodge, duck, boom, boom, boom. You ready, huh? You got that counter punch? You guys ready? You that quick on it? You ready to deploy? Something happen? Yeah, you ready to deploy? Something happened, huh? We change on this. You got your account set up? You got cash ready to deploy now if this thing takes off? Whew, what? What? You ready? You constantly ready? Do you stay ready, huh? Good question, huh? Good question. Top question today. You staying ready? We going to stay in a corner? We just going to bob and bob and bob and bob? No, this guy on the right gets tired, right? And then what comes out, huh? That reserve, huh? Boom. Ready at any point in time, huh? Ready to sit there, take the hits, take the hits, take the hits, take the hits. Boom, 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 bob and weave, right? Dance, jiggle, this and that, whatever you got, huh? Bob and weave, then what? Boom. It's ready to come out at any point in time, right? On call, right? We had this talk, didn't we? Yeah, we did right now. Positivity, preparation, etc., right? Boom. You got your account set up? You got your cash ready to deploy? Nobody in VIP now. Appreciate it, Josh, huh? What's up? You got your cash ready to deploy? You got your account set up? Not financial advice. Go get a broker. Yeah. You got your account set up. You got your cash ready to deploy? On the upside and downside? You break down through? Huh? Are you ready with cash to redeploy? You ready to cut loose? You got your stop losses in order? Well, I haven't really figured out how to do that. When's the last time you called me? Well, you have my number. You got a question about it? Well, you have my number. Everybody have my number, right? You got your exchange. The exchange doesn't shut down. Is Gate shut down like Binance? No. Like Robinhood? No. Is it the best exchange out there? I like it. It's nice. Are you ready? Huh? You ready for that? Not you, huh? This, right? Yeah, I mean this, the coin. We ready to lay into it? It may want to fight like this. Let's go through it. It may want to fight down here. It may want us to activate and fight to get in and up here. You ready for that? Josh sending some kind of signal. He getting in with some Ethereum. We got a few little RSIs that are pretty low, under 30, don't we? Yeah. Y'all ready to fight, huh? Y'all ready to deploy any point in time? You got your reserves, huh? Mm-hmm. How long is it going to take you to switch from bob and weave on the ropes? Hmm? To throw a knockout? Mm. Hmm. Don't get comfortable. Josh ain't getting comfortable, huh? Mm-mm. Good talk, huh? Mm-hmm. Just make sure you're ready. Got those reserves ready, huh? Mm-hmm. Any point in time. Look like everybody getting slugged away, huh? So we'll just cover that, guys. Just enough of that without the technicals. But we cover technicals all day long. Make sure, and I cover for long enough to make sure anybody wants to stream in or otherwise or etc. It's just important. We had that talk. You ready? Mm-hmm. Good. Thanks, Josh. You the man. You the man. Josh invited us all to a big beach party, boat party. What's up? What's up? He has good parties too. I saw the pictures. I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty nice party. I like that. I like to see some action, some people having fun. It's a good thing. This is some action. This downward descending triangle. You guys know that, right? Yeah. Descending triangle. Yeah. That's a big descending triangle. You want to draw it out like that? I know. I know. That's okay. What is it on the candles? Ooh, ouch. 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 That's a big one on the candles, kids. Kiddos. I went by a church day with Vacation Bible School. Ouch. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Huh? Huh? That's a big, 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 big deal. I'm going to say triple indicated on this step down. That has a name and candlesticks. I don't want to get too involved in technicals like that. But guys, you have got you guys have this in the VIP. I got my shades on. It's all right. If you want the most accurate representation of this right now, technically speaking, yes, I can give it to you, and yes, I will. You have this contraindication. You see these three in blue right here? That is going to frustrate your ability to perfectly define this triangle. You can still do it. People may play it differently. If you want a midpoint in between, if you want to, there you go. Okay, if you want 2 points here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you guys want this? I will give it to you exactly. No, I didn't get enough sleep last night. None of that excuse, nothing else. You'll get it exactly. You want it exactly? Let me get it to you exactly. No excuse. I ain't on the ropes. Nope. All right. Now, if this were to go from the bottom level, okay, from the bottom level, as indicated by the candlesticks, okay, you have a triple tier approach. Worst case, best case, and let's see what we got. Okay. Okay. Hold up. I'm going to get this precise for you guys because I want you to have the level of precision. Let me go ahead and get rid of this to be increasingly precise. Y'all going to have it. Hold on Bitcoin. Give me 2 seconds. I'm getting out the scalpel. All right. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. That's real close. Yes, it requires this, guys. VIP. Ooh. That's odd. On the daily. Ouch. Ouch. 13,935. I just say ouch because the RSI indicated there. That's just that's a wild measurement there. There's a reason it's there. Nope. Hold on. Okay, that 13. Just count this in a figure. About 14. 13,935. 11,156. And 10,421. Okay. We have enough levels to where the scaled approach can definitely function well, and you can just enjoy it, guys. You know that? Let me go ahead and retype in the 64,863.10. Okay. 64,863.10. all-time high. Guys, the reason, look at this on your screen, you guys with the TV on, you definitely see this. The reason I'm measuring from this lower point is because this is already expressed potential low of this triangulation. Now, we may frustrate from here. It may not be indicated at all. But while we have the breadth of this, some people are going to measure this, guys. And you always wonder, well, how would you have known that as you look back at the previous price action? You say, well, how would you have known that? A lot of times it's somebody operating on a candlestick. A lot of times it's someone, oh, they did that. You always look over, oh, they decided to do that, right? So we're prepared for that, okay? Those are 3 indicated levels. Were this to be the full expression of a descending triangle, resistance, support, right? Horizontal indicated, guys, you can't get more textbook than this, guys. Now, this may be an institutional level of support that I'm not going to get into to the extent it would involve any kind of inside information. You see these? Let's do our target zones here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do these just so we see them. Look at this, guys. Right here. Boom. All right? Like laser guided, like precision. Boom, boom, right? Huge. Hugely important. Guys, your 2 lows. Hello. You guys, everybody gets this, huh? But you have these 2 lows, okay? Perfectly well indicated. You have this downward, and I just tell you, the problem that's messing this up is the line chart, and I'll tell you, the line and the nature of it up along the line of the resistance here. Let me get into the let me draw a polyline on here, because if you go like this, and we draw you're talking, guys. If you want to draw a polyline on this, when you thought you didn't have an descending triangle, when you think you don't have one, let's scale this off. Let's take this exact pattern up top. Let's look at it real quickly. Let's do a diagnostic. While you think you don't have one, hello, guys. When you think you don't have one on the line chart or the candles, are you guys paying attention to this? Look at this. This is literally the price action period. From the candlesticks and wicks, guys, look at this. Oh, good gosh. You see how clear that is now? Just to reference, because we don't have that clearly indicated on the line chart per se. We don't have that clearly indicated on the bodies of the candles, which everyone likes to draw on, right? But that is solidly a descending triangle. So you can see it more clearly now than what it's expressed on the entirety. This is part of the line. That's part, yeah, you guys know that. So it does express down to the bottom, hit on the top, down to the bottom, hit on the top. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can happen. It's a descending triangle by design. You can see it when we kind of get away from it for a minute. Yeah, you can tell. Hit down, hit up, hit down, hit up. That's a monster of a descending triangle. It's beautiful, isn't it? It'd be beautiful to watch that play out. Let's leave that right here. They are bearish anywhere you see them. They're difficult to beat. Wild, huh? Wild pattern, huh? Whew. Yeah, that's some price action there, huh? Love that, huh? Love that dynamic, huh? That's some excitement there. We love that, huh? You guys are doing a good job. Good job. I know you're sticking with the program. I appreciate that. Some of you have other things to do. You're like, I get it. I appreciate you guys being stout like that. Let's see what we got. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see what we got. What we got. My man. Look at this. I'm just looking at some side action here from our brother. Our brother, Angel. It's cool, huh? So what else we have, guys? What else we have? What do you guys need to talk about? What do you want to talk about? We're down 2.9%. Haven't moved much during the day. We have, in terms of the pricing action here on Bitcoin, We have gone through the diagnostics on several of these. We have Josh, who has reached out and become a continual positive dynamic here with a $100, $200 in super chats. We have Andrew powering back through as well. We have just the right group, guys. It's so nice to see you guys. We have Angel cranking through with 500 after Andrew has yesterday hit 2. And Andrew, I'm sorry if I stopped you early. We just we ran into a wall here. So we have guys. This is just awesome. You guys rock the house. You know that, huh? Yeah. You're like, yeah, we do, huh? I know you guys do too, huh? You're like, we know we're good. We're glad you understand that. 100%, guys. In terms of the interaction, you guys, I do smoke cigars. You guys know that. One of the key players here, former clearing 200 million a day in trading from a floor, managing 15 traders, etc. So I do like to spend time here. I like to see. He's just my friend. He's like my brother too. But he could run you guys, huh? Yeah, you're like, well, maybe we'll just hang out and maybe we'll relax, have a cigar. It's funny. So very few are up right now. Very few positive trades going on right now. Some kind of holding. Haven't really checked in with Gate too much. Let's see what Gate's doing. Share out. Secretary in. Yeah, coffee trades. Those little hot shot coins, this and that. Want to pump up, go down. That's fine. It's fun to practice like your descending triangles. It's fun to practice those in the nano, right? And to really hammer in with those. Like it's fun to day trade with those. So I did get up early, so I'm probably going to cut loose on the stream. I appreciate you guys. You rock. Let's make sure I'm going to be a little bit more efficient tomorrow. I have to get up early, and I'm going to meet with hopefully meet with the attorney, top corporate guy, I think, of the U.S. Period. Not a maybe. Not a well. This guy, he handled this. No, guys, like the guy. So I'm going to make sure I'm well rested for that. I'm going to do some additional analytics for you. Get those to you in the back rooms. You guys know Twitter. You guys need to sign up with that. If you're not already, and in the back rooms, you have the general chat, you have the hot altcoins, you have the Doge trades, and you have the Bitcoin trades. Bitcoin trades, look at this. Okay, that's Bitcoin trades. You have Bitcoin trades, you have Doge trades, you have hot altcoins, the altcoins, and you have the general chat. Okay, these are all beautifully well done. All right, we're getting more sophisticated. We're going to have kind of an audio portion too. We're going to work on all that stuff. I just want to make sure it's done with enterprise level security, right? It has to be done. So you guys have my phone number too. If you call my phone number and you can't reach me, if it's busy, I may be on the phone with somebody else, okay? And that is about it. If you guys have any questions, load it up in the chat right now. Let me see. Finally see face, such a character, great stuff. What's up, D? D, you should join us if you've been around that long. I have no idea why you haven't joined. If we hit that many pricing targets during Harmony 1, and you have not, you gotta check it out. Maybe some people, because we're starting to do facials, etc. Maybe you guys, charge back in. We have a heck of a group now, bro. We do. People wanted to show up and show some support for everything. That's it. He's gone. Anybody who's been around that long and hadn't shown any support for the group, I want them to show support for you as much as you want to show support for the community. So that guy's gone. That's it. He's been around since that long. See ya. Sorry. That's it. I want you guys to be supported better than that. How about that? Deal? Capiche? Okay, guys. I just kick him out. That's fine. If you've been around that long, he's not going to support you guys. You're going to, shout and say, "Oh, well, wow, we've been around this long, and what? You don't want to show support at all for your own community or anything else? My VIPs deserve better than that." We have that ability to do that, and I'm going to do it for you guys. That's just it. I'm going to demand that for you guys. I think it's out of respect. I've told you guys one of the perks is going to be VIP only kind of chats, etc. So that's me taking care of that for you guys. Okay. Potentially, I'm not going to coax him into being a member when you guys are this supportive of each other and showing the dynamic to each other. That's part of your perk. So we're living up to that that dynamic as well. I know you guys appreciate that. So as we look at this monster formation, guys, just we'll close on this, and yeah, we'll close on this. Yeah, we'll and this is so difficult to beat. Okay, we're going to bring this back up here again just to copy that. While we talk about being ready, right? Just being ready. You know, you got that reserve. You're ready to punch out anytime. What is this? You guys see this? Who? Anywhere you see this on the chart, just to copy that, guys. Anywhere you see it on the chart, bearish. Very negative pattern. That's on the wicks and the sticks. It's not as clear. If you see it just on the line chart, you're not going to get as nice of an expression of it. You see how much you miss with the wicks and the sticks, etc. You just do. Now, we typically don't, you know, it's a style point, but you don't want to be surprised by something. Just always be prepared for any eventuality and any surprise moves, right? It won't be a surprise to us if it decides to go up, to go down to this extreme, etc. We've covered the pricing targets. And you guys know you're the best. Keep being the best, and let's go get them, huh? This is London with the Crypto Kingdom. You guys rock. Josh, hats off. Angel, brother, what's up? Angel's my big brother. He's denoted himself as my big brother, by the way. I needed that. Thank you. Andrew, yeah, all you guys are my brothers. You know that. Andrew, you're the quintessential trader and professional VIP. We appreciate it so much. You guys take care of yourself. It's been a great stream today. We covered some awesome stuff in terms of just the material and railroads in Russia to bed rails in Arkansas style thinking for people who are interested in thinking outside the box. We got it here. And thanks for the refreshment. And in terms of the energy, I needed it. And I'll carry it in through tomorrow. And we'll get this stuff done. I'll let you guys know how that chit-chat with that attorney goes. And I'll let you know who all or what all else happens. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna run this thing. We're gonna build it. And I appreciate you guys with your excitement. This is London with the Crypto Kingdom. You guys go book a positive trade, huh? Can you go book a positive trade? I don't care if you dime it up, whatever you know, decide to go book a positive trade. If you're not on gate, if you're not plugged in, if you're not able to negotiate, or you're still on the ropes, and you don't have you can't deploy your reserve when you need to. You know Muhammad Ali, right? You're gonna end it at any point in time. He's ready. Make sure your accounts are